Yeah. Oh, yeah. We heard the rumor, Brad. Yeah. It would drive him nuts if you don't say anything. Oh, yeah. We heard the rumors about Brad.
Can't believe there's something. They're talking about me. There's something happening. What's going on?
Don't do that to Brad. Don't do that to Brad. He's a very nice man.
You guys know like what they were talking about? Like what?
You're doing like a young Bernie Sanders.
No, I mean, I think I'm mostly happy with my Brad. Like I'm mostly
pretty good. You gotta work on the while.
Yeah.
While.
Will, I downloaded this. Never mind. Okay. Faded to Black.
I'm running a gnat.
Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 881. Today is March 11th. Happy 3/11 day to those that celebrate. The color of this podcast is nacho cheese yellow. I'm your host today, Jan Ochoa. Joining me, co-captain of the ship, is not here because his tummy hurts. But instead, he's hanging by the water cooler. If you need to know how to print something at the office, he's there. He's hanging out in his cubicle. Your favorite coworker and mine, Jeff Bacalov.
Well, thank you for that intro, Jan. That's right. I've got my arm rested atop the Poland Spring bottle. I'm holding a coffee in the other hand, and I want to know, what'd you do this weekend?
That's right. We have the master of weekends. The weekends run through him throughout the week because that is the vibe and the energy he carries with him. It's always a Friday or Saturday somewhere with him. Dan Reichert.
That's right. I was worried you were going to intro me as the guy who knew the stuff about the printer because I've never once known how to connect to a printer.
Ever. Oh, that's shocking.
Yeah.
What about like in college?
No. What do you mean? Why am I using a printer in college?
To print an essay.
I think I wrote an essay.
I feel like no matter the age
writing essays.
Dan, have you ever printed anything ever?
Yeah. Return labels sometimes.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Jen. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's something. You never had to write an essay for your film degree?
Or an elective?
Or a script for a film?
I kind of just got credit for stuff I did on the side anyway.
What does that mean?
There were a couple times I did a prereq was Western Civ, and I did have a guy from the call center job I was at. I paid him $100 to write an essay for me, and he did. So I did that a couple times. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I didn't earn my degree. I can't stress this enough.
No, we
I
all
shouldn't be a college
collectively know
graduate.
that.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah. Just in case you didn't know.
I do know that he's the baddest man in games media. That's right. He's anarchy on the streets. Maybe the Moana branded sheets. Mike Minotti.
Well, gee whiz, everyone. I think that we would just have a much more grand of a time if we toppled the government.
Playful anarchist.
This is a good character, Mike.
I love this a lot. This is what John Moxley, Dean Ambrose would have gone over if he just kind of adopted this gee whiz mentality.
He's the Death Rider of Giant Bomb.
That's me.
Mike Minotti.
Yes. He's all of the Death Riders in one.
Mainly Pack.
Mainly Pack.
Right.
A bit less of Yuta, but mostly, definitely a lot of Pack.
Mike, hit me with a death triangle. It's been too long.
The government should be troubled over and we'll all be happy on anarchy death triangle, isn't it?
I can't wait to read the Spotify auto subtitle thing on that. What was that?
He was doing an imitation. It was very good.
What happened to your
took
mouth?
direction and then I delivered.
Oh.
Mac, I almost called you Mac instead of Mike.
Yes, yes, Jan.
No,
Mactol Kodo.
I'm thrown for a loop now. I don't know how to proceed with this podcast, but I do know how to proceed with some news. And I'll just play this.
Oh, we already fucked it up.
All right, it's not the news yet, but we do have some news for you folks listening, watching live, or the archive at home. If you've noticed, we've been doing some things. We've been testing some things out here at GBHQ, along with the GameSpot homies and the fandom peeps, where we're kind of streaming continuously across all of these channels, and this has been a strong concerted effort. A lot of moving parts behind the scenes, and as I try and get some visual accompaniment up, I'm going to defer to Mr. Backlar, Mr. Reichert, to explain what we got going on for y'all.
Well,
not all at once.
Well, isn't that convenient that this is the day I have to be here and talk about the brand new thing that we're going to be starting this Thursday? We're calling it the Power Block. This is a combined effort between Giant Bomb and GameSpot and fandom, where we're going to be having live stream days ranging in 4, 6, maybe more hours a day of streaming content that you are all very familiar with and have come to love over the years. And we're going to be starting things off on Thursday morning with a new imagined version of Jeffrey Grubb's Game Mess Morning Show. Are we going to say this?
Let's say the new name.
I was going to say we could scoop Grubb here, but I think he also accidentally said it on the air before. So it might already be out there. But yeah, let's go ahead. Who wants to announce the name?
You're going to do it.
All right, folks, Grubb's new show, no longer Game Mess Mornings, every weekday except for Tuesday, today, the Bombcast day. It will be game-breaking news coming to you at noon Eastern. Game-breaking news will kick off the Power Block every day, and then after that, we will launch into the day's programming. We've got, several different things kind of lined up. You've probably seen all of them already. You've seen, Grubb's Gimmicks on Wednesday, followed by Blight Club. Mondays right now, or you've got GB Kids, followed by Reichert Roulette. We're going to have a kind of an open block after the Bombcast starting next week. So things will be like moving around. There are a few things that are set in stone. The Bombcast is going to be set in stone. The dump truck on Thursday is set in stone. Fridays is going to be UPF or Vengeance, things like that. But we will have the ability to slot things in and out, to move things around. So if you see something not beyond this week that was on last week or vice versa, don't worry about it. All the standard shows are going to be there, and then we're going to have fun with the other blocks. But that will be the Power Block every day from noon Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern is the plan. Or, sometimes it'll go long, sometimes it'll end short. But generally, we want this to be a thing you can you're at work, have us open in a tab. We will have programming on throughout the day.
Speaking about the Power Block, if folks direct their eyeballs to the screen now, there's a little tease at the logo we got going on. And Dan, Power Block is not just going to feature GB folks. It's going to be people across the board, right?
Yes. In fact, this Thursday, the first official day of the Power Block, you will see the debut of the GameSpot show. That will be Kurt, John Luke, and Jake Decker, typically. What are you laughing at, Jan? Are you laughing at GameSpot?
No. I'm laughing because I love that crew so much. And since I've been going to the office more, I'm getting more of a glimpse into the, let's say, how art is made. And let me tell y'all, I am very excited for everyone to get their eyeballs on what the GameSpot crew has been cooking up. They've added a soundboard, and just stay tuned for the first GameSpot show.
That will be Thursday after Game Breaking News will be the debut of the GameSpot show. And we've also seen Tam and Lucy playing some Split Fiction lately. They'll be continuing that. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's, we have to figure out, new ways to kind of like do content and figure out the best use of like the time we have and what we can do with it. And I'm very excited. And I really, again, I know I said this on the dump truck last week. There's so many moving parts to this, and not a lot of people at all. So thank you to everyone who is a part of this. And it's sick. It's super sick. I'm really excited and very proud of everyone. And I hope you enjoy it, because that's what we're doing now. To be clear, right, we're going to have a lot of everything's going to be available after the fact as well. So you'll be able to enjoy that content wherever you probably originally saw it. Some things are going to wind up on GameSpot's YouTube channel. Some stuff's going to wind up on Giant Bomb's YouTube channel. But you will be able to watch everything that we streamed. There's never going to be something that you actually miss. Yeah, it's a really exciting new chapter in what we're doing here. So thank you, everyone, again. And it's exciting shit. Get excited. I am. This is me excited. I'm very tired, but I am excited. It's tiredness with excitement behind the tired, if that makes sense.
You should be excited, and the tiredness is understood, Jeff Bakalar, because this guy, let me tell you about this guy, Jeff Bakalar, and how much work and time he has put into making this thing happen. Also, your son is smart and has a bright future. I just think the Bakalar clan is just the best. I think your son is a well-rounded kid. I think he's probably great on the rink. He's great in Roblox. I just think he's
get started on academics.
No. He's probably doing great there. I don't have the report card, but just Jeff, I think you're doing a great job, and I think you should keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
What is going on? What?
Yeah, Jerf.
What? No, nothing.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Nothing became available on Sunday. Nothing became available on Sunday that I expensed, and was approved.
Oh my god!
So,
do you see what he's doing?
You got one of the retro things.
He's glazing my son because he bought a doohickey.
No, this is apropos of nothing. What are you talking about? I just think you're all great.
Cool. Yeah. I thought you were genuinely like gonna have a nice moment. I thought you were gonna have like a nice moment here.
No, I mean, yes, that's why I was saying the nice things about you and your son.
Right, but it's all because of a dumbass retro tank.
I guess when you put there, that seems like a wild coincidence. But yeah, it's just a coincidence. But yeah, thank you.
Don't ever lie like that again.
What a serendipitous moment we had here on the podcast.
Yeah, that's how we express emotion. Through transactional events.
It works out great. But for shoot. Bakalar has been doing a ton of shit to make this thing go off the ground. And we've just been kind of heads down on the content and planning and all that stuff. And this is going to be very fun. I think we're all very excited about it.
Also, I can already see threads across the internet. Nothing is going away. Okay. Right. We're renaming Grubb's News Show. The Bombcast is still here. Dump Truck is still here. BCR is still here. Brad already left. Okay. Nothing is changing. We're just adding more stuff. You get more options at the buffet now.
Yeah. The only thing going away is the government as it falls apart to pave way for the New World Order.
Yeah.
Can you do that in a Mickey voice, please?
Because the government's going to collapse and the meek shall inherit the earth.
Wait, why?
Oh, he got religious.
Why are you so bad at Mickey? That seems wrong.
That was a bad Mickey.
I love how 100% of the Mickey voice I've heard in my life just comes from Mike Minotti. I haven't heard shoot Mickey talk ever. I've heard Mike Minotti do this a lot.
You've never heard Disneyland together.
Yeah, you can
really don't.
It's not. It's again. It's not that you've never heard Mickey Mouse talk. It's that you have never absorbed Mickey Mouse talking the probably 100 times it's happened around you.
It's possible.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Yes.
I am sure that I have a video clip somewhere on a hard drive of a Mickey voice happening in your vicinity.
We went on the Mickey Mouse ride together. He talked constantly on it.
He's talking during the ride?
Yes, you sat next to me. He talked constantly.
It's that voice.
Paying attention to him.
Hi there, Dan. That's Mickey. Like, that's the voice. You know the voice.
Well, because I've heard Minotti do it.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh talks too.
Yes, he sure does.
Okay, yeah. All right.
There's two reasons I came on the Bombcast today. Well, three, because Grubb's not
Grubb's
feeling
tummy
well.
hurts.
Yeah, that's one. Two, obviously, it's great and advantageous talking about the Power Block debut on Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. But also because I think I pooped next to Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Where?
So
At your house?
no, he wasn't here.
Oh.
But our kids play hockey in the same league together.
No.
And my child played his child in a hockey game, and he was there, and we pooped together.
You know
What's-
it was him, like, you know, the shoes?
Well,
like,
I
how
know
did you
who he
confirm
is.
this?
I know because I know who he.
Yeah, but they're not like
recognize.
glass bathroom dividers.
Well,
you're
it was
not-
like, let's just say it's a situation where it's like I just know what happened.
you peering between the slot and
No,
the door.
no,
and the-
nothing like that. Come on, Dan. Come on, let's keep it straight.
How did you confirm it?
Well, I just, just like sort of you leave a bathroom, you see someone outside the bathroom, and you're like, oh, all right.
Oh, okay. Did I bet Dylan played better than his son, right?
His daughter. No comment.
Okay.
Very diplomatic.
Okay. All right.
see.
You said a lot by not saying anything.
Well, I believe in
No
Dib.
comment.
I believe
What's
in
that?
Dib. I believe in Dib.
Now you do, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Fantastic.
Appreciate it.
Gosh, I like both of these new fun dumb logos. Very
they're
good.
really good.
Very good work across the
Oh,
board.
I have another one for you. That's not the one. I sent you a different one, but that's fine. We put up in a break.
Where did you send me that one?
In Slack.
Slack?
It's okay.
No,
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I like those logos a lot.
Yeah, they're really
Game
good.
breaking news one reminds me of Sparkster.
Reminds me
and
of Street Fighter 4.
Shout out to Dan Hour, to Jerem, helping
Yes.
us whip
Yes.
up all this amazing art in
Oh, yes.
relatively brief amounts of time. Tremendous work.
Yes, yes. Also, along with a new name to the morning news show, it will also be getting new music. And y'all will hear that debut on Thursday as well. I don't
No
know
more
if you-
gummy bears. We're not yummy like them anymore. I'm sorry, everybody. It's over.
That's right. The yummy era at Giant Bomb has ended. Okay.
Nothing is delicious anymore.
No.
That's right. I do hope you leave a delicious life, just like I hope Lady Gaga lives one as she rides away on her suitcase.
Yo, I gotta say that new album is all right.
Oh, really? I didn't know
I'm a huge Lady
Hey,
Gaga fan.
No,
You didn't
she's
know
great.
that?
Yeah.
I know that it was a big deal when I saw one Matt Piscatella of Circana quoting Lady Gaga's Abracadabra song, Ooh Na Na.
Ooh na na. There's a lot of ooh na nas in there,
Wait,
man.
is it the same Abracadabra that Eminem sampled with his
No.
new single? Okay, it's
No,
not the
no.
Steve Miller one. Okay.
I
No.
thought I heard that some kids were saying that Lady Gaga is just reheating nachos with the album. And apparently that's a new phrase they say, reheating
Oh, I'm
nachos.
sorry. Would you like to comment on the state of contemporary music, Mike
I
Minotti?
have no comment. I have not listened to the album. I just thought that I heard some kids were saying it was reheating nachos.
Kids don't eat nachos anymore. Kids don't
What?
appreciate
What
That's
is
like
wrong
the
with
number one
fucking
food
kids?
I ate as a
Fucking
kid.
kids.
You know, look, I understand where maybe some of that commentary comes from. I think it's like more of a pivot into like 80s dance kind of stuff too, in a really
Okay.
satisfying way. But nah, it's not. I don't call it reheating nachos. Every artist with their iterative albums is reheating nachos to some degree.
I
Is
like nachos.
This is just a nacho thing for you, Mike. I get it.
So my grandpa was a cop, so he got all of this. All the cops dealt in government cheese. That was like the currency they exchanged for favors because they would all just get access to it. So my grandma would make these nachos with the government cheese, and they were just the best nachos
I'm
ever.
sorry. Government.
cheese?
Yeah, wait, is that a real thing and not just a saying?
Oh yeah, government cheese is real.
I thought only Bugs Bunny had access to that. What's going on here?
What is government cheese?
It's like just it's basically it was a lot like Velveeta, to be honest. It's just like
Where
a very
do you get it? Like at the state house?
The government.
They
government gives
mail it to you? Like how do you? Why are they making cheese? Is it like a
Ask the
treasury for
anarchist.
Well,
cheese?
I think it's a program to help the poor was what it's originally supposed to be
Oh,
for.
I know what kind of cheese you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
it's
like
like a
the government
big block.
employees and cops,
Yeah.
like cops
It's like-
get infinite cheese.
Well, they
No.
get some access to it somehow, perhaps not totally on the up and up, and just start
Everyone knows
passing
cops
it around.
get
Cops
get
are-
infinite bullets and infinite cheese.
Cops
is how
are
it
stealing
works.
cheese.
No,
Cop-
they
Stealing
got-
is such a strong word, Did. Can you really steal if you don't even believe in the government? Then it can't be its property.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Government
Down
doesn't
with
own
it.
anything if I choose not to believe in it.
Oh no! What if we accidentally turned Mike Minotti into a shoot anarchist?
I'll get behind that. Whatever. It's better than whatever the hell he was before. I don't know.
No one knows what a Disney adult. Disney adult to anarchist.
Like,
That was
Mike,
my political leaning.
Mike, while we're Mike, while we're sharing news, can I game break this news that you are actually Banksy?
Oh, that would be awesome.
That was the
Oh, he does
artist. Was that
What do you
the
mean?
was that the
What do you-
Hope guy?
What do you mean that
Was
was
that the Hope guy?
the
Wait,
artist?
are you thinking Banksy was the Obama Hope?
That's
poster
Shepard
guy?
Fairey, dumbass.
Do we want to run the Who's Weirder poll?
Time out. Did you, wait, time out.
Do you
Time
know
out.
who Wood Kid was? I
Time
know
out.
who
Did
Wood
you-
Kid is.
It sounds like you just watched Exit Through the Gift Shop, and then that was the entirety of your art culture.
Is that something about Disney? Exit through the gift shop?
Guys, I
The
can't.
the whole place is a gift shop, though, Mike.
Ah, isn't that great about it? I love that about it. So many
You're
fun things
entering,
about it.
existing, and exiting through the gift shop.
Living in the gift shop.
I want to be clear, as I am anti-government, still very pro Disney World, still very much in favor of that.
All right.
Have you,
know
wait,
what?
before we pivot though, have you ever heard anyone in response to like hearing Banksy say that was the artist, right?
I know. I could identify a Banksy piece, and I
If
don't know
saw
shit.
one.
Yeah.
If I saw one. Hey, I went to Mario Day yesterday at a bar. I took the day off so I could go day drinking for Mario.
That's a holiday where you come
That's
from.
anarchy. There we go.
That's anarchy. Yeah.
You
Oh,
said F you to the man. I'm gonna drink.
Yeah, they had Plumber Porter. They had a special Mario beer there for the day, so that was fun.
Yes, if you want to see any of Mikey's adventures, he was posting about it, skeeting about it on Blue Sky. But Mike, I need to know more about how this bar celebrated Mario Day.
Well, they had a band there, and it was like a what would you call it? It was a
Tribute?
normal band, but they had a band, but the band also had a trombone and a saxophone along with the guitars and
That's
the
still
drums.
a band. What do you mean?
Yeah, but when a band has a couple of horns, there's like a different
It's
vibe.
Chicago. Yes, it's
Yeah, it
Chicago.
was fun. It was a good band, but they're playing a bunch of songs, Mario songs. And then at one point, they were like, "Now listen up, everybody. This is going to be perhaps a slightly more obscure one, and if you know what song it is, you get a $25 gift card
Was
What?
it
to
Super
the
Bell Hill?
local retro gaming store." And I'll tell you what, it took me 5 seconds to recognize the theme of Laura from Silent Hill 2 because I am a professional gamer.com copyright 2025. So I got my gift card and I was just beaming the rest of the day. People coming up to me like, "Wait, what was it? I didn't know what it was. Oh, I thought it was from Dish. I thought it was from that." I was like, listen, you simpletons, you fools. No.
You
Silent Hill
weaklings.
2. Now get out of my sight. I
Seems
can't
like-
stand to look at you. It makes me sick.
It seems like they missed a lot of like ska opportunities to make some
Opportunities.
to make some fucking real bangers, if I don't mind saying so.
Oh, they had some bangers. They did GoldenEye, like the pause menu music
Nice.
there for a bit. There's a
that's
lot
cool.
of intense. Their aquatic ambiance from Donkey Kong Country was out of control. That was so good. Coconut Mall for Mario Kart at one point. There's a lot. They did a very good job. It was a very good.
This was near where you live?
Yeah. This was
That's pretty
shouts
cool.
to Birdfish Brewery in Columbiana, Ohio. Check it out if you're from their parts. It's good beer, good vibes. Lots of pinball machines back there. Lots of pinball machines.
You play any, or you just looked at them?
Today I did not. I played a bunch before. They have like the better version of that new Jaws machine that I love. That's my
Nice.
like favorite machine right now. But they had a bunch. They have the Stranger Things. They have the Iron Maiden. They have that Wild West one that's famous. Rush. They had all sorts of stuff there.
Cool, man. I'm proud of you, bud. You did a
Thank
good. You did a good thing yesterday.
Yeah.
Well,
I
we
guess.
thought
I guess. I took work off to go drinking in the middle of the day.
Well, we thought that was going to lead to you not being able to talk to Samoa Joe because it sounds like that's the time that he needed to record yesterday. But turns out British PR people don't know about American Daylight Savings Time stuff, and so he got double booked. So, little programming note. That did not happen. But,
I was going to ask how it went. Okay, I'm learning about this.
We're going to see if we can make it happen again, but it was a thing that he was doing with RGG Studio, and they just had him for yesterday. So I might just ask him if we can just do something on the side. So if he is not on Thursday, it's because there was a double booking for that day. So we'll try to figure it out. So maybe the hope is alive that Mike Minotti will talk to Samoa Joe.
Silly Europeans.
That's right. Speaking about silly Europeans, they make a couple games. What do you mean?
It's a lie. What game has Europe ever made?
I'm assuming Joseph Ferris is European.
What? Why?
He seems very European.
And you know, I was at the Split Fiction event, he seemed very tired because he took a plane from Europe. So
yeah, that'll do it.
I'm going to put one and one together and say that Joseph Ferris may be European, and he made a silly game called Split Fiction.
You thought he was tired. He's just a shy guy. He was probably just being
Yeah.
shy.
Yeah, that's what everyone says about him.
Yeah.
I do
doesn't
feel-
like talking, doesn't like being perceived at all. Like, yeah.
Just like me.
Right.
Yeah,
You and Joseph Ferris share a lot of similarities.
I interviewed him. We had a great time. That was
There we
a while
go.
ago. Nice guy.
I've been playing a little bit more of Split Fiction. As Dan mentioned at the top of the show, Lucy and Tam are going to continue playing through Split Fiction. That continues this Thursday. But some of y'all have also been playing it or continuing to play it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm probably about halfway through it with Bonk. How many hours in are you, Jan?
I'm about like I don't want to spoil anything because the set pieces are very fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would say like 4 or 5 or so hours.
Okay.
I'm like 3-ish
I
myself.
think we're 8, I want to say.
It's a good game.
It's great.
It's really good.
It's very fun. It's just a straight
It's
up
a roller
video
coaster.
game.
It's just a roller coaster,
Yep.
right? It's just that's kind of what it is. I've been playing it with Dib, and
How's that
It-
been going?
so
It's great.
yeah, right. He's great.
Yeah.
It has opened his eyes in a way that like I think Astrobot kind of did, where like it's like when you've been eating like the shitty chocolate your whole life, and then you get a taste of like European chocolate, and you're just like, this was always around. I just never ate it before, and like that's what's happening. He plays Fortnite, which is a good video game. He plays that a lot. But he played 3 hours of this, and he said, this is the best game I've ever played in my entire life. Now, he's almost 10, so what does he know? He's just a dummy. But
Hey, don't be hard on him.
yeah, okay. I like the angle of you enjoying him and glazing him. I don't like the angle of you defending him against me. I feel like that
I think you're being harsh today.
is where we have to draw the line a little bit. All kidding aside, think about it, right? He's never experienced something like this. He doesn't know the fact that these things are happening simultaneously on screen, trading back responsibilities, the variation of gameplay, which he really can't appreciate in the way that perhaps we can with just what goes into having to do something like that. Everything working relatively flawlessly.
Right.
Feeling
Somebody coming
good.
up and like with Roblox, right, where almost nothing is deliberate and everything here is super deliberate.
Roblox has officially been banned in New Jersey. I don't know if you heard about that.
New Jersey? Not just
Yeah,
like
New
it's at your
Jersey.
household.
Yeah. Well,
Why?
That's what we told them. But it's our house for sure. We're done with that shit. We're just done.
What
We're
is
just
the
done.
as someone who doesn't really know Roblox, what is the is it bad with microtransactions? Or
Yeah,
what's
it's like predatory and fucking weird, and it's a marketplace for like deviant, like dark pattern behavior.
Oh, geez,
And
okay.
it preys on a sort of like slot machine mentality for little kids, and I can't really come up with one redeeming factor about the entirety of Roblox.
Wow,
Maybe it
okay.
teaches some math with like having to figure out how much you have to spend on something.
Yeah, same
Like,
with Fortnite though.
yeah, and but Fortnite is not predatory as much as Roblox is.
I had a great experience with Fortnite. Not
$100%.
$7.
There's, I mean, it's Roblox is just it just seems like an accident. So that's the sort of quick digest on that. But Split Fiction, like truly has like changed. It's like consuming it. Like we played one session of 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop. We just, and the story's pretty good or at least accessible enough for him. I'm not a huge obviously like it's not super cerebral. There's not a lot there. It's the weakest part of the game for sure. But for him, like he gets it. He understands what's happening, and it's like almost violent. It's like just not violent enough, but also enough action to really like capture him.
Did he sell it when there was that kind of funny turn at the end of the pig sequence?
Oh my God. That he like couldn't I'm glad you brought that up. I almost forgot about it. He like couldn't understand the sense of he was like, how is this game like funny? Like I've never
So he
had
laughed
something
when it
try
happened?
and he was just like, oh my God, we're hot dogs. Like he just couldn't. But like think about it, right? Like if you've never had the taste of that European chocolate, you don't know what you're
A lot of
missing.
Europe talk here, yeah.
Well, I guess it fits the
mean,
theme, right? Like,
yeah.
We started the show with Pack. Yeah.
it's just crazy. And Stacey's been watching us play, and she's we've gotten a lot of like pops from her too, like all around. What a tremendous game. Even surprising, where you're like, all right, we're gonna have like an It Takes Two with a different sort of theme, different kind of trappings. But no, there's just something bigger and better and just wildly over the top of this thing.
It's something a bit more. It's a bit more Uncharted-esque, not in terms of gameplay, but just in terms of that constant set piece pacing of it, right?
Yeah.
Which is what makes it kind of exhilarating. And I liked It Takes Two a lot. In some ways, there is something to perhaps it's more methodical, a bit more puzzle focused. This is maybe a bit more set piece and action focused. Still plenty of puzzles and things like that. But it is just a game that you never stop playing because you're tired of it for a bit. Because, I got to do something else now, like go to sleep or, go make dinner or something. It's a hard game to put down, especially like once you go through the trouble of like getting that person there. We're going to play through it. You just want to buckle in and enjoy that ride for as long as possible.
There's no one is doing this as popular as co-op play has always been, going back to early arcades and NES and stuff. Like no one has made it their whole like kind of mission statement as a studio to like, this is our thing, this is our bread and butter.
I love that.
And they have gone so hard on it, and it's like it's almost shocking no one did this before. But I'm so glad that they're doing it, and they're doing it at such a high level because like really they do it like no one else.
Well, it's also like the fact that they had the advice or consult or whatever it is that they allowed it to be playable with two people with one person owning it. I mean that's very smart. That's a huge part of this that I feel like is under discussed in a significant way. Even there's like an arena side story scene where you're like passing around this bomb, and the amount of like shouting and group work in a tandem way that you have to do is like so involved and so
timing when it's like, okay, 1 2 3 throw.
Yeah,
1 2 3.
Sport. It was like playing a sport. Like it was absolutely exhilarating. Like
Incredibly
truly.
engaging. It's one of the most engaging video games you can play.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I like when I'm trying to think of like co-op experiences that have really hit big, it's probably Split Fiction, a little bit of It Takes Two, but the only thing that comes close to that is outside of this.
I knew it. I was like, all right, Dan, are you gonna make the cookies and cream joke or am I? I'm gonna give you a moment here.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's something like Overcooked, because like Overcooked, you have that same like thing where like, all right, you have to do this to help me, and then I have to do this to help all of us, and we have to navigate this weird world we're going in.
Or like a moving out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a moving
anyone ever play Ibn Ob?
Yes,
that sounds familiar.
I have not thought of that in forever.
It's like a 2D co-op thing where like you're just two kind of nondescript dudes, and one is slightly taller than the other. You could jump on each other, and that's basically it. Like the entire game's world and puzzles are based around this fact that you kind of sometimes need to jump on top of each other and whatnot. It's a pretty fun time.
Anyone play Elo Milo?
Yes.
Milo, no.
I loved Elo Milo. That's a good co-op one. That was
I also like Snipper Clips. I think Grub is a fan of that as well.
Yeah.
Do y'all think, since Split Fiction is doing pretty well in terms of sales, do you think we're going to see like a AAA copycat of sorts?
Maybe
That's a
like
good question.
Maybe like from NetEase or something. Although they've been pulling back, right? Like who's that company who's making that Horizon clone? Somebody like that.
Oh
is
shit!
gonna make something shameless.
I think that's a fair question. I think there's room in the market for it for sure. So I also think the bar is very high.
Right. The problem is they're almost so good at it that it's like,
Right.
well, what do we have to offer to this space? Except, like, I guess we're just another one of them. Especially if, Hazelight's just going to keep making these, and part of me is kind of like, I hope that they do. So you're like, well, we're going to release one in like maybe the 3-year gap between these, and hope people care about that too. Maybe that works, but
The thing is, it's like as much as the story stuff doesn't really land, and it's just the writing seems a little pedestrian. It's like the game does have so much heart to it, just as a game. Like you can tell this is made by creative people, and a million fun ideas were thrown into this. Even if the story itself isn't really hitting, like there's just so many ideas in the gameplay.
How do you feel about the two main characters?
They're okay.
They're just very
okay.
obvious.
Yeah, I don't want to try to choose my words here. I feel like they're both like equally annoying in their own right.
Oh,
Right.
right. You don't like that they're women.
Oh, you think it's
Women's
woke?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was saying it's woke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine if they were like wrestlers, like
Yeah.
Oh,
A tag team. It makes sense.
yeah. No, like I think they like they're just like both perfectly annoying to each other. You know,
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
like the Venn diagrams like split right in the center. They're just like perfectly annoying and to each other in a way where I'm just like,
I did roll my eyes when it was the whole like, I love the city because the country is boring. It's like, well, I think the country's better than the city. It's just too gosh darn loud. I'm like, I get it. They're supposed to be opposites.
I don't
Fine,
want
go.
to hang out with either of them.
Well, God, the science fiction writer in the very beginning, when there was like small talk on an elevator for 10 seconds, she had a door. Was like, I don't really do small talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you're a jerk.
she seemed unrealistically like standoffish. I thought.
Yeah,
but-
unrealistically standoffish. And like even like 3 hours in, I'm like, I feel like these two have been enough that the bonding should start now.
Yeah.
They're like still at each other's throats, and I'm like, there should be some coming together here.
I'm sorry, it's just like such a funny part of this amazing game. You know,
It's so good.
yeah,
It's so good.
It's phenomenal.
I like how it's about how AI sucks. I like that about the story. So
Yeah.
that's nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of like what game I'd like to see adopt this, and like you have your co-op shooters. I was thinking like, oh, co-op Uncharted would be cool, but it wouldn't do enough that Split Fiction is doing.
We already had that. They made that Star Trek co-op shooter game that I'm the only person who liked. It was fun.
Oh, right. It was like a
very
Gears adjacent.
stupid, but it was fun. Yeah.
All right. Speaking about one co-op game to kind of one, Monster Hunter Wilds. I've been spending some more time in this Jimmy Jam. Dan, you inspired me.
I did.
Yes. By you saying you picked up the Insect Glaive, I also picked up the
What are you
Insect
guys
I was
doing with the
complaining. I complained
insect
about
glaive?
it. I complained about the insect glaive. Why did you do that?
because I remember having an okay time with it during Monster Hunter Worlds. And then like I was just thinking like, okay, I know this game works now. Like I understand a combo here and there. Kinsex, sure. That's a thing I kind of get. And playing this game with an insect glaive, it becomes a completely different game because I'm just used to hammering away and just like pressing a button and like, look, I hurt the monster. But with the insect glaive, kind of having to manage a bit more, and then it becomes full anime because of like the verticality that it introduces. And then I just love just being like a Tasmanian devil and just going rah, 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 like carving down its like back with it. Also because I've only ever used a hammer, I can never cut off monster
Right.
parts. I kind of have to depend on my palico to do it, and sometimes it doesn't do it. Most of the time it doesn't do it. So having a blade turns out helps for cutting things.
You're just way more mobile now than with the hammer.
Way more mobile. Like I can jump around. I feel like sorry to throw an anime around there, like an Attack on Titan character.
Oh, I understand that reference a little bit.
Thank you.
I
thank
didn't.
you.
Sorry, I'm an anime
It's the
expert, but I
anime
did not.
expert, yeah,
I know.
okay.
I only
Okay.
know
It's
Berserk.
new backbar. Yeah,
Guts.
It's fine.
Yeah.
There we go.
guts.
Dragon Ball.
Are you still in the midst of the story campaign, Jan?
Yeah, I'm still in the story. I'm gonna say this. I haven't been paying attention to squat.
Well, it's not much to pay attention to. I'm like towards the end of the story, and I am feeling relieved. Like the story, I thought started off pretty terrible. And then there's a middle section there where I was like, okay, maybe I can get into it. Now I'm at the tail end of it again, and I'm just so ready for it to be done. So much of it focuses on that snot-nosed brat kid that I just find hopelessly annoying. Like, I'm not always anti the kids are annoying. I don't like kid characters, but this one just very annoying and wide-eyed and always on the verge of tears or something, and everybody's treating this kid like an adult and bringing him along even though he can't fight. I'm like, leave the kid back. The kid doesn't have to come. Why is the kid here? It's a child.
Like every Jurassic Park movie. It's like, why are there kids here? Dinosaur Island.
Almost most Disney movies, though, Mike.
What?
Yeah.
No, I just said I'm not always against the kid thing. It's usually
okay.
fine. It's all the time fine. This kid's fucking annoying. I don't like him.
Yeah, Nada is not my favorite character, and I also have a tolerance for pluck sometimes. Mike, you said you're relieved at almost finishing the story?
Yes, I'm glad that the story's almost over so I can just fight monsters. I love fighting monsters, and that's great. And sometimes in the story you get to fight monsters, and that's fantastic. But there are some stretches where it is just characters kind of walking and talking about things, and I don't know. I think I saw a quote from one of the Monster guys who's like, "Oh, one of the reasons why our audience expanded so much is because we focus more on story." I don't believe that. I don't think that's why. I think a lot of other changes happened that got people on board. I don't know if these 10-hour story-based campaigns are doing a ton. Maybe they are, right? People do like to have characters, like to latch on to things, sure. And there are some characters here that are fun. The Wub Wub who talks elegantly. What is his name? I like him. He's a nice guy. He's a mix between Stitch and an Ewok, but with the personality of that one mouse knight from the Chronicles of Narnia.
And an ass that won't quit.
And an ass that won't quit. Bars, you got an ass that won't quit. Right? There's Gemma, and everybody likes Gemma. But otherwise, it's a lot of people that I'm tired of hearing talk.
I do like the hammer lady in the story.
Yeah, she's fine. I can't remember her name. Claire? Is that right?
I don't remember either.
Yeah. So there you go.
Mike, have you tried co-op at all, or had people?
Yeah, no, I've been playing my brother, a Christian, who's played on the site a bit, has jumped in to help me here and there too. So yeah, it is fun when you're playing with people for sure, and that's why I want to just get to the part where I am just going out and constantly fighting monsters and constantly grouped up with people. Because even right now they're joining in when I'm fighting, but a lot of times that means that they're waiting for me to progress through cutscenes so then they can join my next fight, so on and so forth.
Bacalar, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around like the takeaway that I feel like I'm hearing from a lot of people that it's just kind of fine.
It's weird because like it happens almost every time I start talking about it where I seem like negative on it, but there's a lot about it that is very good. Like when you fight monsters, that rules. That is amazing. It feels so good. The monsters look so good. They're just these moments that happen are amazing. Like, I was fighting this one kind of dragon thing, Rathalos, and it can breathe fire. And I could block it with my sword is so big, it's also a shield. So I was breathing fire, and I block it. And like in that moment, the camera kind of like zoomed in on me a bit. And it's just this really cinematic, cool looking thing of this fire just completely like spreading across me as I'm like bracing against it. And then that happens, and if I time this kind of upward swing just right, I can get the monster off kilter and I can jump on him. And the fighting feels fantastic. But there are just so many obvious problems to talk about. We even talked about the performance, which is still an issue. Like the game just looks like butt on my computer, right? It just does not look very good.
Is it still a massive pain in the ass to actually get co-op going on this?
It's like I think I've got it figured out mostly. It's just their wordage is very bad, right?
It shouldn't be like that. A series that has been known for co-op for a long time. The fact that you're like, I think I've got it figured out is insane. It should just be like, join a game, host a game. Like I don't understand. Even Worlds, the one I liked, it was just like every single time it's like, wait, okay, so you haven't seen that cutscene, so we can't join up yet. It sucks.
The confusing thing for at least initially is that like there's different kinds of parties, at least two of them, and it's like, well, what's the party so that we can fight monsters together? Because there's like Link Party, and then there's guilds and some other things. So it's still a little confusing. I can get over it a little bit, but yeah, I'm a little surprised we haven't made this a bit more elegant.
I wonder if that process is easier after everyone you're trying to play with has completed the story, Mike, like you said, because
Probably will
then
help.
even when we tried checking it out like 2 weeks ago, Sean and Christian were waiting for Grub and I to progress through the story so they could join for those specific hunts. And then I don't think maybe there was one mission where Grub and I were able to sync with each other because we were in a similar part of the story. But I don't want any of the negativity to take away from like fantastic set pieces in the game. There are moments where I do feel like a super cool badass. Even when I summon the AI hunters to help out, like the story hunters or whatever, and they wind up using weapons I would never use. Like one of them always brings like not the small gun, but the long gun,
Long bow
rifle,
gun or large bow gun or something. Yeah.
and then he's just like peppering the monster with like a million bullets. And then I try and like use that weapon sometimes. I'm like, all right, I have no fucking clue how this works. It's great. I'm having a good time. I do want to keep playing through it more. And I don't know. I'd like to play with y'all more.
Yeah. We should all do some hunts. Maybe I can jump in there and help you with some of these story hunts that you're working your way through for sure.
Yeah, I think if anything, I should try and finish the story, get that out of the way, and then we can just pick and choose.
Yeah, then exactly. I think it'll be a lot easier for us to make contentable fun at that point.
One of my favorite monsters early in the game is the monkey that farts. Dan, have you seen that one?
I have not. No.
Oh, you would love the farting monkey.
Sounds solid.
You would love the farting monkey. Speaking about monkeys, Mike Minotti, you've been playing Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah, so on Friday, kind of ahead of Mario Day, Nintendo dropped 2 new Game Boy games to NSO, Donkey Kong 94, just called Donkey Kong, but we say 94 to differentiate it from, Donkey Kong, the arcade game, and Mario's Picross. And this might be the best drop of NSO games we have ever gotten.
You've said that before.
No,
these are good ones. Yeah,
this stuff is so good. Like I was playing through some long JRPG, Tales of Graces, that remastered. I have completely stopped for now because I am just playing Mario's Picross, Donkey Kong 94. Donkey Kong 94 I have played before, and it was already just one of my favorite games. It is so good. Like the whole kind of gimmick here is that at first it just seems like, oh, they ported Donkey Kong, the arcade game, to the Game Boy, and you play through all those levels, and then once you do, it just keeps going, and you slowly realize, like, oh, I have like interesting moves I can do here. I have the side jump. And this was before Mario 64. This is the first time you have that Mario side jump. You can do like the backflip into a backflip jump. So then it becomes this kind of puzzle platforming thing, where in each level, there's a key, there's a door, you got to get the key, and got to get the key to the door. And they're all like basically like one screen-ish long. Some are, bigger, they scroll up, they scroll to the right, but they're all relatively small levels, but there's a ton of them. And then after every 3 levels, you have some kind of Donkey Kong boss fight. And some of them are more like spins on the original Donkey Kong formula, again, of just get up to the platform and avoid the stuff he's doing. Some of them become more like Donkey Kong Jr., where you have the vines and everything like that. And then other ones are this new thing where it's more of a boss fight where he's throwing barrels and you have to grab the barrels and then throw them at him. It is just so well done, perfectly executed, probably the best puzzle platformer ever. I would have to think up on that. Definitely, it's the best Game Boy game. It is the best game for the original Game Boy. Played it before, but even now just can't stop continuing to play my way through it again.
I agree, and I had not played it until it came out on like the 3DS. Can't remember if it was the Virtual Console or the Ambassador program or whatever, but yeah, so I played it probably 20 years after it came. Well, it came out in 94, so whatever that is. It's awesome. It holds up great. I played through it like when I got the Analog Pocket. That was the first game I played through on it. It was just like, oh man, this game is just kicks ass. Holds up great, and that's removed from the usual Nintendo nostalgia I have because I didn't play it back in the day. So yeah, I'm with you on that, Mike. And then also, you discovering Picross, that feels good to me.
Well, it's because Jeff has always talked about how much he loves Picross when I'm doing shows with him.
Perfect.
Dan, you talked about before, and I I swear I've tried a couple times, and for some reason I didn't get it, and I don't know why. Because this time I just like watched the little tutorial, and it's like a minute long. It explains it perfectly. Yeah. And I don't know why, but this time I just absorbed the information, and it was off to the races. It's like, oh, I understand this. People don't know it's this kind of grid-based puzzle thing.
For people that don't know Picross.
For people, I don't know if you ever heard of Picross, guys, but I'm gonna lay it down for you here.
Yeah, teach us.
Yeah. It's like there's like numbers on the top and to the left of this grid that kind of gives you an indication of where the blocks are. It's like Minesweeper, but better.
Yeah, it's Sudoku for idiots.
Yeah.
No.
I'm kidding.
As someone who loves both at a high level, they both require a lot of puzzling out.
At a high level, you fucking loser.
You throw
What do
whatever
you
Sudoku
mean?
or Picross at me.
What do you mean at a high level?
Like the super hard versions, like beating every fucking Picross 3D thing at without any.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Logic puzzles are like my thing. Like I can absolutely suss those out like no one's business.
I know when I think logic puzzles, I think of you.
Thank you.
I think I went through like a Picross year in 2010 for sure. So I understand where you're coming from. I just wanted to make the Sudoku joke. Thank you.
I've got a Picross lifestyle. It's not a Picross you.
Picross defines who I am as a person.
But Mike, Picross 3D, that's the next step for you. Oh, you put it on your
that
phone.
That sounds scary.
No,
that's
awesome.
lot.
You're like chiseling away at a block, and it's like, oh, it's starting to look like a 3D swan or something. It is it's the exact same concept. It's just like you're just doing it in it's 3D. That's it. It's perfect.
Yeah, there's a whole world of Picross open up to me. It's so satisfying, trying to figure out what the picture is. It's kind of funny on the Game Boy because, it's like so low detail. Like at the end, I'm like, what is that? Then they're like, it's a swan. I'm like, okay, if you say so, Game Boy. But just figuring out things on my own, okay, if one of the rows says there's 9 that need to be blocked out and there's only 15, then I know I can at least chisel out that middle one because that has to be one of them. There's all these kind of systems you build up in your mind that kind of help you get through it, and sometimes it looks hopeless because in the beginning you get some freebies the very bottom row is 15, that's all filled in.
Yep,
so you know that's all filled in, then you kind of work your way from the bottom to the top. Then other ones I don't even know where to start, and then it just slowly all comes together, and you have 30 minutes to do it. And if you mess up, you lose time on the clock, and that's exponential, right? So you mess up 3 times, you're starting to lose a lot of time. So it gets risky to just guess. But every once in a while, if I am stuck, and I'm like, well, if I was to guess this one right, that would just really
don't
get
guess.
things
Never
moving.
guess. Never guess.
Oh, it's the thrill of the guess.
No, could ruin everything.
Sometimes it ruins everything, but sometimes it really gets that ball rolling.
The best feeling is when it's just you've been staring at a thing and going line by line for 15 minutes. I can't see where a single thing is that I can confidently put down. And then you just have one and all the dominoes fall.
Yeah.
Oh, and this and this and this and this and this. And then you're done. Oh, I fucking love Picross.
Yeah. So, gosh, it's been fun. It's funny because calling it Mario's Picross is so generous. Every once in a while, the thing you get is a Goomba. But even still, just that little bit of Mario flavor. I'm I appreciate that he's here.
Speaking about discovering games that have been around for a while, this is not a cry for help. I'm completely fine.
Okay.
Today is March 11th, 2025. I don't have a newspaper to show you the date. I'm not being held against my will, but I may have downloaded Magic the Gathering Arena over the weekend.
Oh, that's fine.
And I may have also purchased some cards as well.
Okay.
That's okay.
And yeah, I'm having a pleasant time learning about Magic the Gathering. Maybe I'm liking it because they've decided to just become Fortnite and throw every possible IP at the wall.
You got the SpongeBob SquarePants card, didn't you?
I don't have them yet. I don't think they're available yet. But if they do become available by me, I will 5,000% buy it because I love memes and SpongeBob. Dan, you look upset.
I am.
Why?
I expect more from Jan.
If that isn't the pot calling the kettle black, what is the problem?
Not a nerd.
That is your
Jan.
tagline. I can't take that away from you.
Didn't you thought you were picking up Magic cards yesterday and it wound up being potatoes?
Yeah, and then I got locked out of my apartment building.
Yeah, while you were locked out, we were talking about it, and I posited that potatoes are better than Magic the Gathering, and I do think I had some support. I had a potato last night, and while I was eating the potato, I was like, I'm so glad I'm into this and not Magic.
Wait, potato, just like eating potatoes,
A shoot potato, yeah.
like a chip, a fry, however it comes,
I roasted them, but yeah.
is better than Magic the Gathering, the card game.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, thank you. Do we want to run a poll?
It's just a weird thing to
run a
compare, is
poll.
all. You know,
Potatoes aren't nerdy. Potatoes aren't nerdy.
I mean,
Well, that's
okay.
not the problem. No, most people see. Some of us don't care if things are nerdy or not.
I don't either.
Yeah, no, everyone knows that.
I might be a huge nerd.
No,
No.
it might be.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ,
weird,
might
weird.
be. How
It's
dare
funny.
you even?
I know, but boy, I still get worked up every time you talk about Lord of the Rings. It still gets me
I
every
think
time.
you're the only one. Yeah.
No, look, everyone agrees Lord of the Rings is dog shit, but I feel like
Thank you, Backler. Oh my God, Backler, your opinions are good.
Well,
I
everyone
love
says
Jeff
that.
Backler.
Here's the thing. I think it's funny. I get the comparison is funny in itself, but I'm also coming from a place where I'm like, hey, I don't really know Magic the Gathering. Like, I know all what it is. I know, but I've never like allowed it to wash over me. And I suspect maybe I would like it if I allowed such a thing to happen.
It's probably really fun.
It's probably great,
Yeah,
right?
it's good.
Yeah,
I
probably would
played
get.
it on and off.
I would get irresponsibly into it if I allowed myself to.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Jan, the level of which you've decided to allow it to wash over you, is it a safe amount?
So far, yes. I've only bought like one a starter deck that another friend recommended. Our dear friend Matthew Rory also said that he would help guide me through the process as well. Jason Finelli has also offered his guidance with
Don
with
Carson's a big
Magic.
one.
Carson's a freak as well.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell y'all, for anyone that has ever been Magic curious, Magic the Gathering Arena has a fantastic tutorial to run you through the process, completely free. You can't spend money, I believe, to get certain card packs. But if you're looking to learn how to play the game and you're a little too shy to go to your local card shop, or if the local card shop doesn't exist, then you can 100% learn through that. It's because they're fucking dropping this Avatar: The Last Airbender deck in a couple months. That's why I need it.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that Final Fantasy stuff to come out, which I've already pre-ordered a couple of those packs. So once that happens, the thing is, obviously I want to collect the real cards. That's better. But if I actually want to play Magic the Gathering, it is a much better experience for me to play Arena and just tapping cards. Who can get their head around that, right? When I'm supposed to tap and when they get untapped, and there's like 25 or more verbs on the cards that all do different things too. When it's the video game, you just hover over the thing and it tells you what to do, and then it also just does it for you anyways.
And you know what? Our dear friends over at Kinda Funny, they've also been getting into Magic, Blessing and Snowbike Mike. And I thought, if I were to get into Magic, maybe I could pop over to the Kinda Funny studio. They could come over to the SF studio and we have ourselves a little game. Perhaps we could do a draft. I know Jake Decker bought a Lord of the Rings box that we were supposed to do a draft with. But that the timing never worked out. So maybe we can wind up doing that again, perhaps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Snowbike doesn't always come off as like a big nerd.
Yeah, but he's also game for anything, right? He'll try.
What do you
he'll
think,
play it,
Dan?
and he'll have fun.
What's your read?
On Snowbike Mike?
Oh yeah. Well,
I don't think you can.
MTG.
I don't think you
revelation?
can know what a snowbike is or how to use it and be a nerd.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
It sounds like an outdoorsman. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Mike's right. He just has that DTF quality to him.
Yeah, he played Kingdom Hearts and liked it, right? Which I respect immensely.
That's cool. I like Snowbike. Listen,
He's a
Jan,
good guy.
just tell me.
Mm-hmm.
You think this will replace any of your other habits?
Okay, I have a bunch of habits. Which habits are we talking about?
The new one.
Okay.
The new one.
No, so I posited this to Blue Sky, and then one Nikki Grayson.
Yeah.
Let me go try and find their reply.
Okay.
And but speculate amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Is this about smoking?
Maybe.
You shouldn't do that. That's bad for you.
I am thinking, I sometimes see elements of myself or my father and myself, and he started smoking at 40, so I got a few months left to get into smoking if I want to follow his footsteps.
Okay, Dan,
So
you
wild.
should not get into smoking. But Nikki Grayson replied to me when I was seeking advice how to get into Magic. Dude, what? And then in another skeet, have you heard of cigarettes?
It's pretty good, Nikki.
So, it's which is the worst one to perhaps
I'm going to
explore?
say without any
Cigarettes.
hesitation, smoking. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm almost out of the Japanese ones, all right? And then
Right.
once those run out, I can't get cool menthols here in California because of Gavin Newsom. And now he's starting a podcast.
That sleazy fuck. I can't believe it.
He's too
Banning
handsome
menthol.
to be in office.
I did have to cool off of the Lorcana cards a little bit. It was like, man, spending a lot of money on this game that I don't really play this game very often. People don't remember Lorcana was the Disney Magic to get.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we all remember. We
I
all
was like,
remember.
man, I got all these cards, and I'm like running out of places to put them. It's like I am buying it mostly for just the dopamine rush of opening them, and then after that, I'm stuck with these things. I'm like, well, what do I do with it now?
Well, no, yeah, I never took you for someone who's playing Lorcana. I was
We
just
played
like,
a
oh, you're.
bit. I think we always there's the great lie, Bacalar. The great lie is
Yeah.
that we're going to play more.
Yeah,
of
one
it.
day I'm gonna play. Yeah. Meanwhile, everyone buys up Pokemon cards looking for the art of the full arts. They're looking for all the stuff. They want the.
Well, okay, no. So Sean asks how come I haven't partied up with him and gone into Pokemon TCG, and it's because buying the physical shoot cards now, it's not impossible, but it's just there's so many fucking people out there.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
You know,
trampled in a Costco, right?
Exactly. Backlar, I don't know if you've seen these at your local grocery stores,
Mm.
but in the same way that they have the kiosks with that you can buy lotto tickets or scratch offs at,
Yeah.
they have Pokemon card ones now.
Whoa, what are we doing? Why are we not regulating that?
Exactly. And then I saw two fellas just standing next to one, just I don't know what they were trying to do staring at this machine, because I've seen people they'll weigh packs, right?
Yeah, sure,
with
of
a
course.
scale, but you
Yeah.
can't do that with a fucking vending machine.
No, they're trying to eyeball it out. Like, what's happening?
I don't know if they're trying to hack into the mainframe or whatever, or try and input some type of code for it to just vomit out cards, but they were trying to do some underhanded stuff there. But
Yeah.
because of the state of the scene of Pokemon TCG, that's why. And Magic cards generally are available everywhere I go.
Right. People are, they don't seem as freakish with the Pokemon stuff. I just had a visual that I want to talk about out loud. Remember those old cigarette machines with the little plungers?
The knobs. I used to play with the knobs. It was fun.
Let's just put Pokemon cards in that. Jan, you look puzzled because you're probably too young to know what that looks like.
Oh, yeah.
What a plunger? What?
Yeah, like a
the
plunger you would
knob.
pull out. Like a pinball plunger. almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like those sticker machines.
Sure.
No, it's
yeah,
bigger.
exactly.
Because I remember, when I was growing up, my mom was a Chili's waitress. I used to go see her there, and there'd be the whole, half the restaurant was a smoking section, and they
Right,
had
yeah.
those things there. So it's just buy your cigarettes at Chili's and eat your chicken tenders.
Yeah, man, those are obviously smoking's horrific, but those machines are cool.
Cool.
In a vacuum, that machine is cool.
No
right?
no one on this podcast be offended by this. Have y'all ever been on an airplane where smoking was allowed?
No.
I don't
Because
remember
Not a plane.
that.
I've been on planes that have ashtray things
Yes,
still.
same.
but-
Yeah, they're like carryovers, but no.
Mhm.
It might have
No.
happened when I was really young, but I don't remember people smoking on an airplane I was on.
I distinctly remember going to restaurants and them being oh, we don't have anything available. We have a couple in the smoking section.
Yeah.
And then having to do that and being oh, wow.
I
this
remember
is
the
smoky.
Arby's here having a smoking section. It was this whole separate room,
Dude,
and it was just
bars back then. I
God.
remember
very
being
different vibe.
old enough to drink, and then there would be super smoky bars, like the Red Balloon, my main bar where my parents met. You go in there for a night at the Red Balloon, and you come out, and those clothes are not just going to
trash.
stink for a
They're
week,
trash.
but you put them in a hamper, and it just seeps into everything else in
God,
there.
that's
It's just how the world smelled
I'm
for
just-
a good
Yeah.
while there.
Yeah.
I'm filled with so much regret now. I just going to shows in the 90s, just going on punk rock shows and
coming back and you just smell the way you smell and you're just like, throw me in the trash.
This isn't going to help the narc accusations against me. But when I was probably 19, 20, I went to a Parliament Funkadelic show. And
wait, you said that in the man. I'm the coworker. I cannot believe the way you just said Parliament Funkadelic.
I was on stage with P-Funk in St. Louis. I've gone to several Parliament shows. I know George Clinton. No, he probably doesn't remember me. But this is all to say, one of the first times I saw P-Funk, there were people in front of me that I was like, what does that smell? I asked my friend Charlie. I was like, I think that's weed. And I was so concerned about someone smoking weed at a P-Funk concert. I thought, oh no, I hope I don't get high. And also, should I talk to someone about this? Should I alert security at a P-Funk concert? The entire band is on acid.
You cop. You're such a fucking cop.
So funny if you try.
Yeah.
Security
Oh my god.
would
Oh my
have given
god.
you such a look.
How did you find yourself at that show and
Because I love
still
P-Funk.
Right. That's my point. My point is you found yourself in a spot where you actively went to the show, but still had those like narc ass cop nuances.
It was a weird
Tendencies.
confluence of me being open-minded and liking like weird like funk music and stuff, and also me growing up in Kansas with very afraid of weed stuff. You know,
It's like the arsonist that grows up to be a fireman. I don't understand.
yeah, I'm good now.
All right. Well,
You're a
He's
cop
high
now.
right now.
You're a
I'm
cop
gonna have
now.
a weed seltzer tonight and play Split Fiction with my wife. Does that sound
Wow.
like a narc?
Yes, it
We might
does.
even watch some Severance.
Whoa, you're out of
Oh,
control.
no.
Yeah.
we cannot get into the Severance talk today. No.
We're only 4 episodes in. I don't know what people are talking about. So
Yeah, relax, chill. We didn't
Yeah.
even make it through episode 1 because my wife falls asleep now. This is where I'm at in my
I had
life.
a good time drinking yesterday, but there was a certain point where I just got sad. I'm like, I get like when I'm back alone at my house after drinking, I'm like, I'm just like sad now. I'm becoming a sad drunk. Maybe I should be doing weed instead. I don't know.
Yeah, dude,
No.
I think you should be doing weed.
No, weed will make you anxious. I've definitely
Yeah,
never been sad while drunk.
No.
Alcohol's a
never been
depressant.
sad.
What are we talking
But I've never been
about?
sad while drunk.
I've
Ever.
just
Jeff?
never been sad.
Keely's summer birthday. We are hotboxing a car.
Whose summer birthday?
Jeff Keely's
Keely's.
summer birthday.
Oh, okay. Oh, it might be during my shoot birthday too.
We're hotboxing a van.
All right.
Wait, honestly, Minotti's like stoned arc is like well overdue for sure.
Hi, Minotti would be crazy.
People
shit.
probably won't like it. I'll be real
Yeah,
obnoxious.
But that's the thing, Mike. Like alcohol's rough, bud.
I'm probably just gonna drink less and also not do weed still. That's fine. I could be sober. That's okay. Look at me. I'm fine. I got all these video games and Mickey Mouses. They'll entertain me.
Okay. I bet you would see. I bet Stone Minotti. Okay, I'm just putting this out there. Even though weed will never be illegal, never be legal in Florida for as long as we are all collectively alive. Going to Disneyland, stoned, world, whatever is in Florida, that might change shit for you, bud.
I might go to Florida this weekend.
Yeah, that's a thing someone says.
Yeah, I've got to figure it out after this if I'm gonna make that trip happen.
I thought. Okay. Anyway, we're all going to take a collective smoke break to just decompress, air out our clothes. You don't have to sit in the smoker section, but you can go wait for a table, and we'll be right back with the news. breaking news. Jeff Bakalar has a thing. Jeff
Told it's a
Bakalar,
funny
please.
thing. It's a funny thing. Hit us.
Showed my kid Boogerman.
Oh, hell yeah. God, see, this is what I mean when I say you're a good dad. I mean it. Hell yeah.
Another great game, finally. You're really opening his eyes.
Kid's going to get some culture. Yeah.
He was like, I forget what it was. Oh, because of the pigs in Split Fiction
Yeah,
farting the rainbows.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, Dad, imagine a game where like all you do is fart.
What a fart and burp and throw boogers, although boogers are a finite resource.
Finite, of course.
You
as
only
it
have
should
so
be.
many of those.
Yeah, so you get the chili, you can super fart. Yeah.
I show him gameplay of Boogerman, and he's just like, I couldn't tell if he thought it was funny or if he was just like, man, am I glad to be born now, or something, whatever it was. But he did say, he's like, oh, this is just the original Skibbity.
Yeah.
The look on Dan's
Yeah, to be clear, the way you think about Skibbity Toilet is exactly how the generation older than us thought of Boogerman.
No,
Yeah.
Boogerman was a real video game.
Listen. You have to put yourself. Well, this should be easy. Put yourself in the shoes of a 10-year-old,
I was 10
and
when I
just-
played Boogerman.
and just imagine like what that meant, right? Like it came from a good place,
Sure.
and it was also funny. Anyway, Boogerman, we still think about you.
I
Gone, but
distinctly
not
remember, I think the first time I heard the word pussy was because of Boogerman. I was reading the instruction manual of Boogerman in the car while my mom was coming out of the grocery store, and she looked at the manual, and there was something about like queen puss or something. Like the word puss was in there because Boogerman, boogers, farts, and all that stuff. And my mom was like, "What is that?" Like she was like, "What did I just get? Like, what is this game?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She said, "It says something about pussy in there." I was like, "What? What does that mean?" And no, look at this. It's just about fun booger stuff. And she's like, "Oh, okay." But she thought it was about something
Incredible.
I
Yes.
did not think that's where that was going.
Yeah, that's where that went. Yeah. She also wouldn't let me rent Final Fantasy VII because she thought it was a porn game.
All right.
Cool.
Well,
There's no way to
fantasy in the
find
title.
out, too.
Yeah, there's no way.
I
There's
never
no way.
did. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff Bakalar, I don't think we've caught you up on this during the voicemail dump truck program, but I just want to ask you this. Is Tony Hawk better than all of the Final Fantasies?
Backlar, you know this.
Yes.
Thank
Of
you.
course, Backlar thinks that.
A man of taste.
Okay.
To be fair, I've not played a lot of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mike. You don't have to
Yeah,
blow me
I am
off
upset.
like that.
I am mad. You know what? Yes, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not
Guarantee-
going to take it anymore.
I
with
guarantee
this.
the majority opinion would say that Tony Hawk is better than Final
the
Fantasy.
majority opinion's always the best one.
Well, I played the newest one.
Tony Hawk?
No, the Final Fantasy one.
Oh,
with,
the
like, that was,
Final Fantasy, the action
rebirth
game.
thing.
that
yeah.
was LARPing as like Game of Thrones or whatever it was for like a hot
16.
second.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that was all right.
Okay.
I'd rather be playing Tony Hawk. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
yes.
you can say that about almost any video game. I'd rather be playing Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jan, please get me out of here.
All right. Jeff Grubb
Jeff.
with the news, but he's not here. So Mike Minotti with the news.
Yes, that's right. Jeff Grubbs got the bug, but don't feel snubbed. I'll give the news a rub. He did write all of these
Don't like
stories
that.
in here for us.
Don't
yeah.
like that.
Was
Yeah, no,
that?
it's good. See, I'm a poet, and I did know it. Xbox launching partner gaming handheld this year. Report claims Microsoft plans to release an Xbox branded handheld device in late 2025 through an OEM partnership. An outside company is producing it, and Microsoft is working closely with them on the software integration, codenamed Keenan. I can't wait to see what is codenamed Kel. The device will resemble Xbox
Wait a
consoles.
second. Wait a second. Mike, you are delivering the news like a fucking morning DJ, and I cannot handle it.
No,
I
it's
like
good.
it. I like it.
It's good.
It's awesome. No, it's you're just like putting in these little quips, and it's just so sick.
It sounds like a Keenan, right? That's an interesting.
Can you do the traffic and weather after this?
In all honesty, if this thing is codenamed Keenan, I feel like there's a very good chance that the next home console is codenamed Kel. Like they're being funny about it. It's
Ivory
my guess.
Wayans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The device will resemble Xbox consoles and feature an Xbox guide button. It's speculated to be PC oriented, running Windows and supporting PC Game Pass, Steam, and the Microsoft Store. Additionally, Microsoft aims to launch its next-gen console in 2027.
Cool.
I know I saw another report saying that next Xbox console will also basically be a PC with this kind of, Xbox software on top of it. Does this sound like a good direction for Xbox to take to you all? Do you think maybe that handheld PC gaming space is a little spoken for with the Steam Deck and stuff like the Asus ROG Ally? Do you think Microsoft can still make waves there?
See, I keep making the statement that I think PC gaming has never been in an easier place for people to get into with like a Steam Deck and the Asus ROG. But even my friends that are a little bit more open to technology will still kind of confine themselves to the console ecosystem. But I bet if those same friends saw an Xbox console that would be able to play not a bunch of PC games, but open up to like Game Pass, or maybe you could get Steam running. You could probably get an emulator running on these guys too. Then they would be more open to it because it has that Xbox branding. I'm more interested in this than another Xbox console.
Yeah. I mean, and they've also been saying like, this is a PC with an Xbox. Like they've been saying that for 20 years, I feel like. Right. I mean, in some variation, but yes, you're right. Also, presumably, right. Microsoft is like, there is something that like Microsoft could probably do in the way of like getting Windows to work, right, on a mobile device in a way that like no one else has really been able to thread that needle, right?
I mean, I don't
like
know.
that.
Like ROG Ally X does a pretty good job of that.
See, I think it does too, Dan. But then I hear a lot of people talk about Windows on the ROG Ally X like it's the devil.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
bothering a lot of people still.
I feel like I've heard enough of that too, where like the unique fact, like there is a thing where like Microsoft could get away with saying like, oh, but no one's going to do Windows on a handheld like we will be able to do.
I do think at some point Microsoft needs to make a more specific kind of Xbox-y or gaming-based version of Windows, right?
Yeah.
The kind of, a sort of similar but different operating system that is just going to be friendlier for these kinds of devices, including the handheld and the next console.
Wasn't that kind of the plan though? When it's like Windows had that weird pivot where it was just like the boxes on the screen, that it wasn't the normal start menu.
That was for tablets and everything. Was
well, no, but they tried to put that on PCs as well briefly before. You could always like turn it off. But the phones, the Windows phones, the Xbox even changed its dash at the time to kind of be congruous with that. I forgot what it was called.
They seem extraordinarily fragmented, where like none of their teams or none of their products are really talking to each other in a productive way. Like,
anyone use OneDrive? I shut that shit down.
Oh my god! Like, oh my
computer.
Someone take OneDrive out back, please.
Yes,
like, what are we doing? Stop doing that. The Windows experience right now is. It's like it's pestering, it's annoying you, it's always wanting you to like use shit you don't want to use. Leave me alone. Don't be the initiator, right? Like don't be proactive. I'm sick of Windows being proactive. Let me do what I want. Stop suggesting shit, okay? I don't care. The
Clippy's still in the machine.
Clippy's in the walls.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
He'll have his revenge one day.
Clearly, Xbox has lost a lot of ground to PlayStation this generation, and they're kind of just pivoting to being more of a software company anyways, so they still want to produce hardware. I think perhaps taking a different avenue there, making these things more PC-based. Yeah, getting to the handheld space makes sense. PlayStation probably also certainly working on a handheld of their own, so it's going to be interesting what that all looks like, especially in a world where, there is still a Switch, going to be a Switch too, so now you are once again, maybe more directly competing with Nintendo. How does that go?
There's a lot because I think about it now, and it's just like I have got the ROG Ally, the Steam Deck, the Switch, the analog. They all have like different little like use cases. Like I feel like, oh, this one's got the better battery, so I'll take this on the long flight. Or this one is a Game Boy game, so I'll play it on this thing. Or this one's got better emulation. This one can do Windows. I can do Fortnite on this one without doing any weird shit. Like I just hope it doesn't get overcomplicated. It almost feels like. Remember when it was just like Netflix and Hulu, and then it was just like everything got fucking complicated. It was great for a little bit there, but it is starting to be a bit much.
Yeah. All right, we'll see how that all goes. Hideo Kojima's latest Death Stranding 2 trailer is here with the confirmed Dune release. They unveiled the new trailer at South by Southwest. confirming a PS5 release date of June 26th. Digital Deluxe and Collector's Editions with early access on June 24th. We're also announced a worldwide Death Stranding Strands of Harmony music tour starting in November was also revealed. Jan and Dan, you watched this with Grub. You reacted to it. There's a video of that.
Yes.
I watched it for the reaction. Then I watched your reaction last night on your stream.
Look, I tried to react to it, and like I already turned against it a little bit when I saw the trailer was 10 minutes long.
I was surprised that you were surprised by that. Have you never seen a Hideo Kojima trailer before?
Man, I don't know. 10 minutes. That's a lot.
No,
I bet there were 10 minutes. It's a lot.
Mike, I was with you when Dan suggested we should do this, and I thought, like, oh, why are we going to take like 3-4 minutes out of the show? And then I saw it was 10 minutes, and then increased my apprehension until I started watching.
You know how many times I watched a 27-minute trailer for Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes in college?
Oh my
Give
God,
me
that's
all
nice.
you got of that.
That's not a trailer anymore.
That was pretty much every cutscene in the game. But
Yeah, that was I remember that one. That one
Yeah.
was wild. It's like here's
Yeah.
all the cutscenes. Like okay.
yeah.
So Jan, you liked the trailer then?
I liked the trailer, and I followed a similar trajectory to Dan with my experience with Death Stranding, where when it originally came out, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why am I Norman Reedus? And then the director's edition came out, or director's cut edition came out, and then I don't know why then I started to get it.
Same. But you know what it was? I think it was just time, because it's not like the director's cut actually really added that much of consequence. It was just we were removed from the expectations of it and the mystery. It's like, and then we just met it on its own terms, and it's
Right.
a really fun game.
Because I think I then detached it from like, oh, this is a Strand game. I'm playing with a bunch of people, and now it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm just walking, and like Norman Reedus is occasionally grunting, and this is
Fall
interesting.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. I fell down a hill. That's funny. My pizza box is now on the fucking floor.
I have not had that turnaround with Death Stranding yet. Maybe I need to go back to the original. This trailer to me was mostly just a series of incomprehensible images and words. I have to be honest.
Okay, and I think it's hitting me specifically at a fantastic point, because I just watched like all of David Lynch's films since he passed.
All right.
So like seeing this and like, oh no, yeah, that all makes sense.
Let me ask this, Jan. I think you're the qualified person on this podcast to answer this. What is more incomprehensible, Death Stranding or Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with that. No.
Oh, okay. But you'll complain about the Death Stranding part.
Well, Kingdom Hearts is fun to play. And it, Donald Duck's in it.
I will say,
All right, put Donald Duck in Death Stranding.
Donald Duck or Norman Reedus. Come on. I'm going to run the poll.
I have no feelings about either.
Mike, I'll go Donald Duck on that one, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate it. There's something there that's a similar energy. I'm not going to, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they
but
both
there's
don't wear
something.
pants. Yeah.
There's something. So yeah, hey, that's coming out this June. That's a big game for people to look forward to.
And me specifically, because I'm pretty sure I have it in Fantasy Critic.
Oh, there you go then. Good luck.
You do.
Good luck to you on that. Donald Duck destroying Norman Reedus in this poll. Very
I
good.
mean, Norman Reedus is just come on.
I'm not going to go to bat for Norman Reedus. Really.
No, who will besides maybe Kojima?
I've only seen him in Death Stranding, and I like it not because of him necessarily.
The Walking Dead franchise will go to bat for Norman Reedus.
Yesterday was Mario Day, but it was also the 30th anniversary of Chrono Trigger, the iconic JRPG. Square Enix's promising commemorative projects. Square Enix announced various projects to celebrate Chrono Trigger's 30th anniversary. What the projects are is not clear, but they could include a new game, merchandise, or new releases, re-releases. Fans have long requested a remake, but outside of ports, the game has not been revisited as frequently as Final Fantasy. Chrono Trigger, released in 1995 for the SNES, was developed by a dream team: Hironobu Sakaguchi, Yuji Horii, and Akira Toriyama. The Chrono Cross sequel came out in 1989. A remake of that came out in 2022. So yeah, Chrono Trigger is super beloved. They've never done a lot with it, and it sure seems like at least a new version of the original Chrono Trigger is due. That is a game that you cannot play on modern platforms. They had a bad mobile version, and they ported that over to Steam, so it's on Steam.
The DS port It was so good. It got me into a classic JRPG. I think it's the best JRPG I've ever played. That DS one's awesome.
I think for most people, for a lot of people, it's the best JRPG they ever played because it kind of is just the best JRPG. It's beautiful, has incredible music, great characters, a fun battle system. It's paced very well.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot shorter than a lot of other JRPGs, and that works to its benefit. So yeah, if you don't think you like JRPGs, this is still the one that you should try. And I hope they do something to re-release it again. I don't know if I need the whole HD 2D treatment for this game, but maybe I'm a bit of a purist there. But just some way to present it to a new audience.
I wonder if they haven't tried to go back to Chrono Trigger because it kind of was that perfect storm of all the elements firing off and the right people in the right time and place in their careers for this game to pop off the way it did. I will say, I think Chrono Trigger is better than Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
I will.
Thanks, Jan.
You know what, Jan?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
fair.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay,
That's
there
fair.
we go.
I-
Compromise.
yeah.
It's very big of all of you.
I'll say
Thank
it's
you.
better than Project 8.
Wow.
Whoa,
Very big.
whoa!
Wow.
There's actually a soft spot for Project 8 in my heart, and I can't.
Hey, it's not. It's a good game, but I think Chrono Trigger is a great game.
Okay.
So re-releasing Chrono Trigger in some way, and we had the Chrono Cross remaster not too long ago. That makes sense. A brand new Chrono game. I think a lot of people still want that and want to see what that is. It's hard to imagine what that even looks like, right? Sakaguchi is doing his own thing. Yuji Horii is still at Square Enix, actually. Toriyama, fortunately passed away. So you can't bring those elements together again. And I don't think people necessarily just want another game like Chrono Cross. That was part of the thing with Chrono Cross was it was so different from Chrono Trigger. It was kind of a sequel through a few references and connective narrative ties, but largely its own thing. That works for the Final Fantasy series a lot. I don't know if people want another Square Enix series where there's slight connective tissues and we call it Chrono and we're supposed to get excited. So maybe Chrono Triggers and Chrono Cross are not one-offs, but two-offs, but still, let's get Chrono Trigger remade, remastered, or something.
I have a question for y'all. Is Frog from Chrono Trigger on the Mount Rushmore of video game frogs?
Has to be. Maybe
Yes.
George Washington.
He's
Okay.
so good. Frogger.
I like the Ocarina frogs, but that's
Okay.
kind of a group of frogs. Or as individual frogs, I think Frog might be George Washington.
Frog might be
Okay.
like George Washington. Oh, Great Ninja. Great Ninja, not a bad frog. It's Slippy.
Slippy Toad. Yeah, of
Slippy.
course.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, but Frog is Frog's theme. Oh.
There's a frog in that Star Wars Jedi game.
Right. Everybody liked that little guy, that little freak.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. Next up here, Indiana Jones in the Fantastic Circle. Excuse me. Jeff Grubb must have miswrote that. The Great Circle's PS5 release date may have appeared online.
Oh.
PS5 release date for the game, which released in 2024 on Xbox and PC, may be out there. French retail sources indicate a physical release of April 17th, 2025, suggesting a simultaneous digital release. The game received positive reviews upon release, with critics praising its adventurous elements and blockbuster fields. Developer Machine Games is working on story DLC called The Order of the Giants, which is also set to launch this year. This is, of course, a part of Microsoft's multi-platform expansion strategy. I liked this game a good amount when it came out on Xbox. It was on PC. I'm hoping that more people discover it once it hits PlayStation 5.
Oh, I think this will have a fantastic second life on
Yeah.
PC or PS5.
Yeah. It's so weird with a lot of Xbox games because it's hard to get a sense of if it was successful or not, because one, they're not going to share sales numbers, and two, like sales numbers wouldn't tell the whole story anyways because Game Pass is a thing. Sometimes I wonder if even they really know how to measure a game's success or not. So if they still tell us the game is a success, like with Hi-Fi Rush, and then they'll dismantle the studio anyways until somebody else scoops them up. So I hope that game was a success. I would like to get at least one sequel to it. We'll see what the story DLC is all about. Are you guys much for like big story DLC drops? That never really has totally been my
Not
jam.
in a
Not for
while.
me.
You can never like cultivate the momentum for it.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like
for
the
whatever
heyday
reason.
of that was like Lair of the Shadow Broker,
Yeah.
like that era.
Minerva's
like
Den.
360.
Minerva's
Yeah.
Den for me is the
Yeah.
one that like
Right.
is the exception to the rule, I think. But yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, I have such a
the
hard
Oblivion
time.
one was good.
Oh, Shivering Isles is great.
Shivering Isles is awesome, yeah.
See, when I played Oblivion, Shivering Isles had already been out, so like it was actually the first thing I accidentally did in that game.
Oh,
I
nice.
discovered. So I was like level 2 and doing Shivering Isles.
I think my favorite game, like story DLC, was probably Fallout 3 because they had like 5 of them. They all were in like
The
different
Pit.
locations. The Pit, the
Yeah.
UFO one, they all had like their own kind of gimmick. And
right.
it was fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's because
I
it
think the
seems like
timing matters too. The time, the distance between, right, is
Yeah.
like important.
it's weird because I feel like we don't get those kind of big DLC story based drops anymore like we used to. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake got one of them, but then Rebirth, they're like, we're not doing that this time. The first Spider-Man game got a bunch of them. The Spider-Man 2, they're like, we're not doing that anymore. So in some ways, it seems like it's maybe becoming a little old-fashioned. If anything, you
Yeah.
do get expandalones. So people just start working on the sequel now instead
Right.
of that. So
It seems like we're on the other side of the heyday of that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I just started playing something that had a pre-order quest, which that brought me back to like Arkham City, or Arkham City was like even weirder where it was like, GameSpot and Walmart or GameStop, had different ones for that.
Yeah.
But like when I saw pre-order quest, I was like, man, I haven't thought of that in a while. Usually it's like, outfits and stuff like that.
I
Go ahead,
real
Jake.
quick on
Back
Indiana Jones. I think about that game a lot still because I'm still recommending it to people, and it's not my place to say. I know it's not a brand new conversation. I just can't get past like the feeling I had finishing that game and just wondering what it would have been like fully third person. There's just a part of me that like for whatever reason, I know again it my opinion does not matter. I am in no standing to comment directly on it, but I wonder what it would be like in third person. Like the game flirts just enough with it
Yeah.
where like you see yourself enough, and I don't know. I really just cared a lot about that during my play. I don't know why I couldn't shake it. I just thought about it a lot.
Do you think they just wanted to avoid any potential comparisons with like Uncharted? Is why?
I don't know, because the character matters so much.
Yeah.
The fact that you're Indiana Jones matters a whole hell of a lot. It matters way more than the fact that you're Nathan fucking Drake,
I wonder if they could ever do like was it Village and RE7 that eventually had the like
Oh, yeah, the
there's a
right.
third person mode in it,
Yeah.
Yeah, Village
I don't
did.
know. I don't know if it's in the DNA. I think Machine Games is like, the Wolfenstein shooter thing. They don't know. It'll break them somehow. I don't,
Am I
joking, but like,
imagining that like Young Bloods was like the co-op one, right?
Yes.
That was the
yes,
co-op one. Yeah.
yes.
I swear there was a third person mode in that, but I could just be imagining.
I never played much of that one, so
misremembering.
Yeah, I didn't
I
play it.
started it and dropped off pretty quick.
But yes, our earlier conversation about co-op shooters, we kind of forgot that. Like Machine Games, who's fantastic, made one, and
Oh yeah.
nobody really seemed to care.
Eh.
All right, a new Lego Mario Kart set aimed at adults has appeared online ahead of an official announcement. The Lego Mario Kart Mario and Standard Kart has surfaced online. Nintendo later confirmed these details, comprising 1,972 pieces. It's rated 18 plus due to build complexity and is priced at $250 AU. Is that Australian?
Yes,
Let's see.
I pre-ordered it. I think it was like 169 US.
Thank you. I could not do the conversion in my head, so I appreciate that, Dan. The set features a buildable Mario figure in his iconic cart, along with a stand for dynamic display. Anticipated to be officially revealed on. Oh, so that probably happened. Yeah. So, anyways, also that Lego Game Boy thing is expected to come out about October 2025. Yeah, Dan, you like all these video game Lego things, so you did go ahead and pick this one up.
Yeah, I like Lego stuff in general. I just put together the Jaws set, and that was a fun one.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good one.
that's cool.
The problem is these things take a lot of space, and I put together
Yeah.
a lot of them. I think Mike, when you came here,
What
you
do you
might
mean
have
they
seen
take up space?
my Millennium Falcon's in my bathroom.
Yeah, I mean Legos.
oh,
they're
yeah.
big.
Oh, you
Yeah.
don't throw it out when you're done?
No, I keep the boxes too, and all the instructions and all that.
I shit you not. I heard someone genuinely say that.
You throw them away.
No, not that they throw them away, but asked me because we've built like the Mario TV and the NES and all this shit around the house, and like someone was just like, "Well, you're done building it. Why?" Like, they're an older person, boomery. I'm just like, "You fucking for real? What?"
Yeah. But when you do a lot, like I've done every one of the Nintendo ones, and it's like, okay, great. The Nintendo ones, I've got the space above the fireplace downstairs. I'll just put them all up there. Got space for a couple more, maybe. But then it's like, okay, I'm doing the Jaw set. I do the globe thing, and I do the Falcon and all this shit. And it's like, these are big fucking things.
This is Lego's biggest Achilles heel. Like, this is the biggest problem, aside from the like wild amounts of plastic that they use. But like that, what do? There's a ceiling.
I've sold some when I'm done with them, where it's just like, all right, I had my fun with this. This Batmobile was on display for a year. Now I'll just sell it fully assembled and just be like, hey, here's the box too.
You glue it before you sell it?
I've never done glue stuff. No.
I think there's
I think he breaks it. You break it apart again when you sell it, so people can put it back together. Or,
I think when I moved out of Connecticut, I sold a handful of them. And I think I just gave them to him total, like full, and then because that proves like, hey, look, it's as far as you can see, it's got everything there, and then
you give them a little sledgehammer, and you're like, this is what you'll need when you get home.
Yeah, it's they need to slow down on these, and I'm glad they're slowing down on amiibos because it's just like things that I just keep buying, and it's like, it's taking up space.
There's still amiibos. There's still amiibos.
They haven't really. They don't make too many anymore.
Not many, but
I miss them. Nintendo Switch 2 upgrades revealed by the FCC Amiibo. Speaking of faster Wi-Fi and more. So we're kind of got some more ideas about this system, including NFC support. So you'll have Amiibo, a second USB-C port on top for charging, and Wi-Fi 6 support. I wonder, the NFC support. I wonder how much love that's going to get, or if part of that is just, well, this system has to be backwards compatible with all the Switch 1 games, so we gotta have that, and an NFC port or whatever reader thing probably isn't that expensive.
I can't imagine. With how weird the stuff for the Switch 2 may be, I don't imagine. Well, I don't know. It's another excuse to sell things, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is a good time for Amiibo to make a comeback.
No, stop. No.
Putting Amiibo.
Putting the
so
NFC radio,
tubs of Tupperware's filled with that.
The radio antenna, whatever. I mean, it's like 11 cents. It's like, who cares? Like you just put it on there by default.
Yeah, so I think it's just a matter of making sure that this system is as backward compatible as possible. And I'm sure there will still be some games that have some Amiibo support. Like, Echoes of Wisdom, I think, did do something if you put a Zelda Amiibo on it. I don't think they made a new Zelda Amiibo.
I think there were like a couple outfits you could get. It was one of those things where you can scan like 3 Amiibo a day, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom did. But nothing of substance really.
Dan, I gotta say, buddy, first time I went to your apartment in Manhattan, I'm like, you live in an apartment in Manhattan. It's not that big. No one has big apartments in Manhattan. I get in. I'm like looking at your dogs. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I look around and I'm greeted with this Amiibo shrine. And I'm just sort of like, do I got to get the fuck out of here right now?
It's a lot more now. And the thing is, like, all the new ones, they just kind of keep in the packaging. So it's like, it just takes up so much more space. And I don't have any plan. I don't buy stuff to sell it. So it's like,
no,
am I just going to keep filling up Tupperware tubs in my storage room? Like,
they're just one rung above Funko Pops, buddy.
Hey, now, don't say things you can't take back.
That's why I said it. Because I believe it and I mean it.
Ooh.
I know.
I'm a mild Funko Pop defender. Only a mild one, though.
Yeah, no one's a full-blown defender.
No one's that much of a sicko.
I know some folks.
I know some folks.
Supposedly Switch 2 has Wi-Fi 6 instead of the Wi-Fi 5 in the original Switch. Aside from recognizing that's a larger number, I don't really know what that means, but apparently that means the Wi-Fi will be a bit faster. The Steam Deck OLED has Wi-Fi 6E, and that's faster
which is better.
Still.
Yeah.
So it could have been better, but I guess we'll take what we can get there. Hey, we're not that far away from that April 2nd big kind of coming out party for the Switch 2. So soon we're going to finally learn a lot more about this thing and the games coming out for it, and that's exciting.
What other colors do you think they're going to have at launch?
They might not have any additional color. Well, I'm trying to think. The original Switch, did it have more than just the red and blue?
It was the Joy-Con.
No, it had the gray and the red and blue.
There was a gray option, wasn't there?
There was gray?
Yeah, that's what I got because I wanted my Switch understated.
Classy, yeah.
Subtle.
Classy Switch. Yeah.
Robocop Rogue City is getting a sequel this summer. Standalone sequel called Unfinished Business, set to release this summer for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Players will reprise their role as Alex Murphy, battling heavily armored mercenaries in Omni Tower, a high-tech housing complex. So, yeah, this Rogue City was a surprisingly good game when it came out in November 2023. So I think doing a standalone, expand-alone kind of thing for that will be neat. Apparently, there might be some flashback sequences where you play as a normal base Alex Murphy before RoboCop, which part of me is like, that's kind of neat. And other parts like, who wants to play as just Alex Murphy? Because playing that demo for Rogue City, the best part of the game was being RoboCop and just lifting people up and throwing them like 100 feet across an alley or something like that.
Yeah, better than I think people expected it to be. And it seems like they did that Terminator game that's pretty well received, right?
Yeah. So good niche. They got to find more, 80s action movies to turn into decent video games.
I support that.
Yep. Okami sequel doesn't mean Clover Studio will only focus on sequels in the future, Kamiya says. Clover Studio head Hideki Kamiya clarifies that the studio's work on an Okami sequel doesn't mean they'll only focus on existing IP. Kamiya and Kento Koyama, who left Platinum Games to form Clover's, emphasized that they're open to various possibilities, including sequels, spiritual successors, and entirely new IP. The key factor for them is whether a project is interesting and whether they can Cloverize it, adding their unique touch. I love when things get cloverized. While their first project is an Okami sequel, Kamiya stresses that this doesn't limit their future endeavors and that they're not solely focused on sequels. So that's nice, even though I'm sure there's a lot of people who would be happy if they said their next project was a Beautiful Joe 3 or something.
Yeah,
That's the first thing, baby.
Yeah.
Really wish they would have waited to say this until after that game came out.
Mm-hmm. I am excited to see that Okami sequel. It makes me feel guilty for not having finished Okami. I might need to go back to that one. Okami is
long
so
game.
long.
It's a very long game.
Yeah, but it's a pretty game. It's still a very pretty game. So definitely want to go back to that. Yeah, I'm glad that Clovers exists. I'm curious to see what they come up with over there. I was mistaken for a bit. I thought that this was like now a part of Capcom again, like the original Clover was, but no, it is an independent studio that is just working with Capcom. So future projects don't even need to be Capcom IP necessarily.
Except, do Beautiful Joe. Yeah, just
do Beautiful Joe. Come on. More Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet info has come about. This is Naughty Dog's upcoming game, set 2,000 years in the future, in an alternate timeline that's split from Mars in the 1980s, where a new religion has evolved. Lead Neil Druckmann has been developing the game for 4 years, detailing an intricate mythology of the religion's expansion over millennia. Players will assume the role of a bounty hunter stranded on a desolate planet, the center of this religion, with the goal of uncovering its mysteries and escaping. The game, influenced by titles like Half-Life 2 and Monkey Island, whoa, wait a second here, those are just two of my favorite games, will focus on exploration and being lost in a confusing world differing from Naughty Dog's previous works like The Last of Us. Druckmann acknowledges the game's religious themes might be controversial, but expresses his fascination with exploring such concepts in a sci-fi setting. Here's a quote now for Druckmann. With The Last of Us 2, we made a lot of creative decisions that got us a lot of hate. So the joke is that, hey, let's do something people won't care about as much, like faith and religion. I am all for tackling the subject of religion. Neil Druckmann has had some takes on this stuff before, though. That makes me a little worried about what exactly the game is going to say about religion or specific religions.
The religion is going to be like the Church of Porsche, so I don't really think it's like maybe more of the consumerism religion than Catholicism.
He said some things before that had a bit of a Zionist
what does he
spin
say?
on them.
What's he said?
Bit of a Zionist. I don't even remember how to say
Zionist.
Spin to it. Zionist spin
Did you
to
not?
it.
You didn't know how to say the word Zionist?
There's some words you mostly just read. Right? Like, I read the news. I read the news. All right. I'm not necessarily listening to NPR as much as maybe I should.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, there's been, when all this stuff was happening with, Gaza and Palestine and whatnot. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm not maybe as incredibly well informed as I should be, so I'll be careful. But
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was loud about that.
there's something about that, and that's why people are perhaps a little on edge on what he has to say
I think
about
that's
the
fair.
topic
Yeah.
of religion. So that's fair. I'm not gonna lie, he got me a little bit by saying his two main sources of influence are Half-Life 2 and Monkey Island. So I hope the game's fun, but I also hope that it doesn't have idiotic takes about some very important and devastating issues in the world right now.
Yeah.
The video leak reveals Sony is working on AI-powered PlayStation characters. Sony's exploring AI-driven characters with a leaked prototype showing Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West responding to questions. While the AI quality is currently not on par with traditional development, yeah, no shit, Sony is hyping it, describing it as a prototype developed with Guerrilla Games. The exploration of AI is generating industry attention, as nearly half of game developers are using generative AI tools. This contrasts with criticism Activision received for using AI imagery in marketing. Yeah, that was a story last week when they had like AI images for fake video games just to try to gauge interest for them. I don't know if you all have seen this video. It's like a worse version of the Milo prototype for Kinect way back when.
There are a few things I can think of that I would be less interested in than having a like Chat GPT conversation with Aloy. And that video is just like, who is this for?
What do I have to talk to Aloy about? We got nothing in common.
I don't like it when she talks in the game.
But here's the thing, and like, you know, I've played like a baby's handful of hours of the Horizon games. Isn't the whole point is that she's fighting like evil robots that have taken
and like
over the
AI
world?
tech dudes that ruin the earth.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a dissonance there. It's like not the voice, right? It's some AI slop, and it sounds as far from realistic or human as possible. I just have no idea what the purpose of this is. Other than that, it gets executives rock hard when they see this shit. They can't get enough of it.
AI is definitely like the VC boner of the decade. Listen though, Mike, you're telling me I know the answer to this. When you walk into Disney World, right?
Yeah.
You walk into Disney World, and if you could engage with an AI Mickey to like have your decide where to go first in the park, like, oh, hey there, Mike, you know, and tells you like there's not a long wait at whatever here, you would love the shit out of that.
Oh, they absolutely would too. Disney had a thing called My Pal Mickey in like the 2000s. It was a doll that interacted with a bunch of like NFC readers placed throughout the park, and the doll would talk to you. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't have a very long line right now," that kind of thing. Disney is absolutely going to try getting in on this slop. Also, they all are. You know,
no, that was my point. My point is that you're going to love it.
I don't know if I'll love it. I think I may not like it.
Let's see.
Like they tried introducing. Right, Mike? Like AI checkout stands that like were absolutely hated throughout the parks.
Yeah. There's stuff like that. I mean, Genie Plus was using AI to like try to give you all these recommendations on what you should do with your day, and they've sort of retreated from that. We're all just gonna be stuck in this hellscape of people throwing random darts on the AI board to see what sticks, and realize very little does, and then we're gonna further fall down to our dystopia.
Just fucking cure cancer. Just shut the fuck up and fucking cure cancer. Okay? You want to make all these screensavers. You want to make AI generated screensavers for until the end of goddamn time. Go ahead, but cure fucking cancer first. Stop. Just cure cancer.
But what if you could talk to Aloy about her day?
No, just cure. Just
she doesn't have a day.
Cancer.
She's not a real person. There's no day.
And I also hope, like, I understand everyone is like hyper horny to inject some semblance of AI into their thing when AIs become this like dumpster catch-all category for everything, not dissimilar to like HD and 4K and adding a plus to the end of your dumbass fucking thing. But like, what's the plan? Humanity, is the plan to like just eliminate every job on Earth so that either there's universal basic income, or is it like you're gonna fucking need someone to pay for the shit you're selling, and if nobody's working, there's no fucking money. So who's buying the shit you're selling if all it is robots talking to each other? What's the plan?
This is why we gotta take down the government.
What's the plan?
Yeah, it's not like we've had like years, decades, even worth of literature and media pointing exactly to where we're at right now, right? Yeah, no, no.
What's the plan? Show me your plan. Show
The
me your
plan
roadmap.
Is that you're gonna go home and turn on your TV so you can talk to Aloy about the backstory to Horizon Forbidden West?
And there's gonna be so many. Okay, all right.
That's your entertainment now.
Excuse my language. The same fucking chuds that complain about how Aloy looks are gonna fire this thing up and whip it out and jerk it so fucking hard.
It's going to immediately get turned into weird things like that, right?
Well,
I mean,
no
how
one
did
said
they even
anything
program
about
that?
fucking. No one said anything
Jack
about
off in a
fucking.
rainforest cafe.
We know.
Last thing here, BlizzCon is back. Blizzard Entertainment announced that BlizzCon, the ultimate
And
celebration.
they're also gonna whip it out at BlizzCon and jerk it.
Finally, it's back.
It's returning to the Anaheim Convention Center. Going to be September 12th, September 13th. Used to happen more around early November. It's interesting because they don't just always do BlizzCons anymore. Of course, the first time they didn't do it was because of the pandemic. But then there was all the the issues happening at Blizzard, and then it got sold to Xbox. But even since then, the last one was in 2023. So now it is kind of like, well, they don't do one of these unless they kind of maybe feel like they have some stuff to show off and talk about. So perhaps we are going to get at least one big Blizzard announcement here. A new game, something like that. Overwatch, there'll be Overwatch stuff. I don't think we're going to get like Overwatch 3. People seem to be happier with Overwatch than a WoW. They'll talk about the next World of Warcraft expansion, which we already know is called Midnight, I believe. They'll talk about, a Hearthstone thing and whatnot. But, maybe this is where you hear about a new StarCraft or some new IP, something biggish like that. I have to say, of all the kind of gamey conventions I have covered, I have always had the most fun at BlizzCon. They have always put on a pretty good show and experience there. It doesn't hurt that it is literally right across the street from Disneyland.
I was going to say.
I've always had a good time at BlizzCon. So if they're doing that show again, I would like to be able to go. I don't know if any of you have much of an interest in BlizzCon. I don't know how many Blizzard games you're consuming.
I have an interest in Disneyland, so if given the opportunity, I'll hang out at BlizzCon for a bit.
Mm-hmm. And hey, the Overwatch stuff there they have is usually pretty fun because there's like a separate esports arena, so they'll do stuff with that, and you get to try out the new heroes or whatever. And there's a time there where I was like, especially at Games Beat, like my beat was Blizzard almost because they were so popular with Overwatch pop. Oh yeah, the Blizzard Beach, because Overwatch and Hearthstone were popping off. World of Warcraft was still popular, so much of my time was just covering Blizzard. So it was very productive times that I had at BlizzCon. All right, that is the news. Jen, I'm handing this show back over to you. That's what Jeff says, right?
Hey, Mike, that was amazing.
Oh,
for real. Like, really good. I love you, buddy.
Oh, I appreciate that. I love you too, Backlord. Thank you.
Great news.
Dan, also good job. I don't want you to go without love in this segment.
No, Jan. No.
Thank you, Jan.
No,
Jan.
He'll take that back.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
I'm not used to Backlord being me. He's usually such a nice guy. What the hell?
Times change, people change. What can I say?
You can win him over in the third segment, Dan. I believe in you. Don't worry. You're going to do such a good job with the emails.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
That's right, folks. We'll be back with emails right after this quick break. If you pick up one piece of trash for the class, you get 5 podcast points. See you right after this. Emails. Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send all of your lovely emails to. Write in about any and everything that you want. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. If you want to avoid this awkward social interaction, or you have a thought that you need to get out and you need to send it to someone, send it to us, and we may potentially read it on air. I love and appreciate all of you emailing, so keep doing that. I'm also digging through the spam folder because Gmail has suddenly become fucking trash and is putting a bunch of not spam in the spam. Anyway, first email is about Death Stranding 2 and comes from Rich. Can Dan explain what's going on in that trailer?
No.
Okay, well, I'll stop reading.
All right,
the
moving
email
along.
Rich continues. My takeaway was Solid Snake is smuggling brain dead pregnant women with his zombie army, but is also a puppet. Then an ooze Colossus wears Metal Gear Rex's head as a hat. Is this just Hideo Kojima saying he's taking his stuff back after the breakup? Did daylight savings time just mess with my attention span so I missed everything? Thanks, everyone, and have a good week. Rich.
I think the only thing I could say with any confidence based on that is that I don't think Solid Snake is also the puppet. I think the puppet is a different entity than Solid Snake.
Oh, like Doll Man puppet.
Yeah. Or is he saying like a metaphorical puppet? Because I mean, Solid Snake was a metaphorical puppet of the government in Metal Gear Solid, of course.
Symbolism.
That's right.
No, there's none of that here. What is...
Yeah, no, I don't have any fucking idea what's going on in that story. Or the
Nor
first
will
game.
you ever.
Watched
I
every
mean-
cutscene, heard everything that
Yeah.
game had to say, and had a good time with it. Couldn't tell you a single
What
fucking...
did you like about the game?
Walking around, building roads.
It's got good walking around.
It's got great walking around. The zip lines were fantastic.
I like a zip line.
I do like the tripping gun. That was fun.
Yeah, the like bolo thing or whatever. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it's just it's a fun game to play.
I'm still stuck on the whole David Lynch comparison, and I feel like that's a disservice to David Lynch.
No, I think it 100% makes sense because a bunch of people will watch a David Lynch film and be like, "That was weird. I liked it,"
Right.
and not be able to explain anything from it.
It's very funny to me that the first objective in Death Stranding is take the corpse of your president mom to the top of a volcano for cremation, if I remember correctly. That's just very funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did David Lynch and Hideo Kojima ever meet?
Almost certainly, right? At some point.
Had to
I don't
have
know.
happened
It's
somewhere.
a good
He
question.
loves meeting Hollywood people. And
sure
he's
does.
usually very successful with
but-
it. So
But on the flip side, does it work where David Lynch would have liked to meet?
I think so. Because he would have just been like, "Oh, here's another weird guy. All right, cool."
Yeah, do you think they would have like bonded in their weirdness?
Yeah, because I think like weird energy respects weird energy.
Yeah.
Well,
I
David
hope that- I
Lynch
hope that's
had
right.
lunch with my wife, and I've met Kojima, so we're just a couple degrees of separation.
There we go. It technically
Mhm.
has happened then through the
Yeah.
power of friendship. Next email comes from Jeff in Quebec. Surprise! The Bombcast is now subtitled by AI. What are the little adjectives in parentheses next to everyone's name used to describe their tone and personality? Example, Mike, parentheses chirpy. This reminds me of Disney. Dan, parentheses naive. No, that's gross. There's no mayo in that.
No, it's
Jan.
not gross. No, you read that wrong.
Jan, amazed. Ever realize how it's actually YouTube Advanced, but without ads, so it's advanced? Shut the fuck up. Jeff from Quebec.
Is that true?
Was this like a conversation? No, he's just positing.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying is the Bombcast subtitle? Oh, on Spotify
If
it
it
is.
was,
Yes, okay,
but-
sure.
Oh,
I bet,
wow,
I bet Backlar would get bemused a lot. As his
Or like
subtitle adjective.
annoyed.
Yeah, bemused, annoyed,
Curmudgeon-y.
not indignant. I
that's-
wouldn't say indignant.
Belligerent?
Let's be
No, not
let's-
belligerent.
No, belligerent. That's not me.
Yeah.
No.
Grubs
Dan-
would be
Dan.
like aggro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aggro, yes,
Sure.
yes. And tauntingly. Tauntingly.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, naive's
Jokingly.
pretty solid.
It's pretty solid.
Mhm.
For shoot when he's being sincere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shootingly.
Shootingly. Yes. I'm trying to think of one for Nikki because Nikki has a bunch of just sayings that they're always dropping that it gives me a small pop.
I'm starting to talk like Nikki in like my personal life. I picked up a lot of their mannerisms. I'm saying makes you think all the time or thinking it constantly.
Nikki
people
has
say something.
almost like a twang.
Yeah. I just love the way Nikki talks is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But do you hear that? There is like almost like a southern thing going on there.
Southern thing.
Southern?
There's like a drawl.
There's a warmth to it, is what you're trying to say, I think. Right?
Well, no, you're right.
And a vibrance.
There is it's a Southern California thing.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was
still
coming.
the South.
Yeah.
It's still South, yeah.
Fair enough.
Makes you think.
Makes you think.
Hey, Nikki, I want you to know I read your newsletter and I quit piano lessons once too, and under much less reasonable situation than you did. So don't feel bad about it.
I quit guitar lessons almost immediately. Yeah.
Music lessons are kind of boring. It's like, man, I'm either going to be self-taught or nothing.
My fingers aren't going to move like that. What are you talking about?
Was your music classes like solo dolo, so like one-on-one, or like
I had one-on-one piano thing. Yeah.
What do you think would have changed that? Like made enticed you to do it if your instructor was cooler?
Maybe
my
if
fingers
they
could move correctly.
If they're able to come to my place to teach me whenever I wanted to, instead of
come on.
I know I'm bad. It's like this is a thing I have to do at 5 o'clock every Wednesday for the foreseeable future. I just don't know.
So you were forced to do this?
No, I paid this person. I wanted to learn piano.
No, but
this is like college.
Oh Jesus! What the hell, Mike? I understand a parent enforcing this on a child. You're going to learn piano. But like there has to be some willingness to accept the information of like music theory to like understand.
Wanted to learn piano. It just turns out I didn't want to enough.
Yeah, I guess but there has to be like some openness to the thing, right? Like you can't just be like, I want to get better at being a carpenter or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Piano's difficult because there's so much, like learning to play piano is such a long process before you're actually playing songs and like feel like you're playing piano. Like this tin whistle thing, pretty quickly I could play a song on a tin whistle and at least felt like I was approximating being a musician.
Why is that thing within arm's reach at all times? Man?
I got 3 of them
happening
over here. I got my this is my D. This is my first one, my beginner one. This is the Woody. It kind of has a deeper sound. And then right over here, this is the big boy. This is the big D.
All of your fake instruments.
This right here. It's called a low D actually, but I like to call it the big D. See, fun. Yeah.
Fun. Yep, that's the word that first came into my mind.
Yeah, got it.
Mike, do you know how to play the ukulele?
No, my brother does. He had to play it at a wedding one time. I'm terrible with string instruments.
Okay.
Never figured out a guitar or anything like that.
I don't have the lung strength to play any wind instruments.
What you mean wind instruments? Yeah, or brass. I played tuba in high school, and
that's so impressive. Like I'm shoot impressed.
Just carrying that
obnoxious. It was the wrong choice because it was just like I'm gonna do what everyone else does, but have to carry around this giant metal contraption while I'm doing it, and also all the parts I play are boring bass backing parts.
Yeah,
too,
but you've got more tuba energy than anyone I know.
I know
think,
it's
buddy.
like not shocking to anybody that I play tuba. I know.
Tuba energy, that's good. He has since entered a rehabilitation program, and I am his sponsor here. So Travis in Fargo has a couple emails and has not gone out to me that Travis is misbehaving. So we have a bunch of emails this week, actually. But I'll read one of Travis's. Does the younger generation have a Wonderwall? A song where if you're at a house party and there's a guitar laying around, there's like an 80% chance someone will start playing it?
One thing I've noticed with generations younger than me, like at weddings and stuff, is if like a pop punk thing comes on, everyone loses their fucking minds. If there's a Fall Out Boy or a
Killers.
Good Charlotte, or
why is that weird? What do you mean?
I guess because it wasn't a thing when I was younger.
But it was.
I hated it though.
Okay. What
Yeah,
are
I
we
guess I was just
saying?
surprised by how popular it is. Because like it'll come on and it'll be like, oh, I thought people hated this song. Like everyone's freaking out and singing it and stuff.
I mean, when I guess that's just you like, understanding popular culture in a public
That's it.
way.
I guess that's
know?
it. Yeah,
I saw-
like a Sum 41 or something. Yeah,
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people in chat are saying maybe Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
I can see
The
that.
Wonderwall for a younger
100%.
generation. I can see that. I karaoke Mr. Brightside quite a bit, so I guess I'm guilty of it too.
I mean, I do think like My Chemical Romance and Blink 182, and to some degree, or maybe with older people, Green Day, like are without a doubt that thing that you are describing, Dan.
There,
Yes, I just remember getting angry every time I even saw My Chemical Romance, like a picture. You know?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was
Man,
just
man,
like,
fuck
this is
Dan
this-
Reichert.
Look, dude,
Fuck
this
Dan
is, I'm
Reichert,
not
dude.
defending this. I'm saying this is like the weird Paul Reichert programming that I was raised
Dan,
with.
I said that
I
the
wouldn't do
emails-
it now.
I said the emails were your big chance. I said
You
this
know,
was a
I'm
big
yeah.
saying now,
chance.
here's the
You know
deal.
it.
Ball.
Now, when I see a new thing, like I see someone on SNL that I'm like, I don't know who this person is, and I don't get it, but I'm not like grr. I used to be grr because my dad
Yeah.
taught me to be grr. You know,
I mean,
like
Yeah.
no, but you could be Gurr at like I don't know, even Good Charlotte Gurr I can get behind, but
yeah,
like
I'm with you on that.
but like My Chemical Romance, come on.
oh, I remember deeply them and Lincoln Park and all that stuff. I just
Ooh.
couldn't.
See now,
Oh.
Dan, you're
I know, man.
conflating
I'm
some
talking
shit.
about high school, Dan. That's
Oh,
a different guy.
You just went after one of the few bands I care about.
Different guy. No, if anyone listened to Korn or Lincoln Park or any of that stuff, I was
Yes,
just like, you're an idiot. You know.
Well, okay. See, but
I'm not defending it. Not defending it.
because I'm with you there on Lincoln Park. But I think
Oh.
I know. Look, it's a generation. That's a generational thing.
Okay.
But like conflating Blink and Lincoln Park is like dumb. I think. It's
I know.
not
I'm just
a
thinking
thing.
like anything that
Anything
was
new.
made after 1978, I was
Right.
just told was not
And
real
I'm
music.
the old guy. And I'm the old
No,
guy.
I
Got
don't
it.
like
got
this.
it.
This is a
got
great
it.
regret of
Got
mine
it.
because in the 90s when I was getting into like hear Rage Against the Machine or Soundgarden, I'd be like, oh, I like this. My dad would be like, well, it's not real music. And I'd be like, what? And so like I was like mocked for liking new music. And so I think I just kind of built this defense thing of like all new stuff is bad. And then as I got older, I was like, man, there was so much great stuff in the 90s. I wish I could have listened to more Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and
wish I
Alice in Chains. And
I
you
wish
know,
I was free to listen to that.
I
back
wasn't.
then.
Yeah, like yeah. It's,
All right, fair enough.
God, I'm seeing both of those bands this summer, and I'm so fucking excited.
Oh, nice.
MCR, for
MCR.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know why I decided to do this, but I decided to buy Lincoln Park tickets in Brooklyn, just cause.
There you
All
go,
right,
to
stop.
Brooklyn.
Pop by, bud.
Yeah, of course.
Well, there's a tour this this summer. The Offspring, Newfound Glory, and Jimmy Eat World,
Okay.
which is like an interesting trio there. Dan hates all of those bands.
I did hate all of those.
I will say I don't think I'm gonna assume Gen Z parties don't have someone ready to play guitar. It's someone like saying pass me the aux cord or whatever, some Spotify shit, and let me
Yeah.
play this AI DJ or something. But people will fucking go insane if Panic
Sure.
at the Disco starts playing.
That's one of
No,
them for
true.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
all
was
their
always-
songs are like sentences. Yeah.
I was always deeply annoyed by any band that wrote songs about being like sad or whining or anything.
That's
Like,
a
what are
lot
you
of
doing?
music.
You're
But
a,
that's all
you're
70s
a
music
millionaire.
too
What's going
also.
on?
No, that's all 70. What do you mean? That's all rock is.
Not Zeppelin and Skinner and Stones.
Yeah, they
and
had
stuff.
problems, dude. They're not.
I
it's
know.
not all
And
good.
again, not defending it. I'm just saying I always hated whenever any musician complained about stuff. Like, what are you talking about being sad? You're a millionaire. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have problems.
I know. And like, trust me, as I've gotten older, it's like that was my big thing with Lincoln Park. Like, oh yeah, I'm sure the super millionaires, life sucks, life
God.
sucks. I'm sure they got a real tough life. And then it's like, well, okay. You
Yeah,
know,
it
like,
turns out it was so
yeah,
tough.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I realize how wrong that thinking was.
I'm okay if
Absolutely.
you just stop admitting it too. I'm okay if like you just stop talking about how you used to be like that.
We would have got along great back then, Beck.
Let me
Oh,
also say,
shit.
fuck, Paramore starts playing at a fucking function. People
Sure,
lose their their
yeah.
fucking minds.
I believe it, man. Hell yeah.
Ooh, Haley Williams, hello. Next email comes from Ryan in San Jose. Hey, folks. In the same vein as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, what would each of your games be? What would Jan Ochoa's blank blank be? Love y'all. Cooper from San Jose. Jan Ochoa's new crippling addiction.
Like Minotti's Disney Day Planner.
Oh, it'd be a fun like theme park sim. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you gotta figure out like where you gotta get your reservations for dinner at so and so date, and if you wanna get to be our guest, you gotta make sure you get up at 5 o'clock to get that reservation before it goes out. And what's your backup? You might be going to the Liberty Tree Tavern if that one falls through.
Jeff Grubb's minivan.
Yeah. Dan Reichert's car combat.
Dinner is car combat.
Yeah.
Everyone is Axel.
Yeah.
It's just 1,000 axles.
That's a party.
Jeff Bakalar's major grievances.
Oh, that's good.
That's very
Yeah,
good.
Second level is locker room hot dogs.
Oh, that's some boss battle shit right there.
Nikki Grayson's Make You Think.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Turbo Sean's furry collection.
Wow.
Election.
Sorry, Sean. It's a joke. It's a goof. All right. Last.
Brad Shoemaker's Nat Drive.
It's NAS, but yeah.
Nat
that-
Drive. Yeah, get that in the Tony Hawk font.
Someone please make that.
Vinny Caravella's complex wiring.
Vinny Caravella's TriCaster.
No. Vinny Caravella's fast eating.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's just an
Eater.
Italian thing. I eat fast too. I mean, I eat fast, and no, I've never seen anybody eat faster than my dad. I don't know what it is with us Italians, but we are
How do
just
we get your dad
getting
to-
through the meal very quickly.
How do we get your dad to like enter an eating competition with Vinny?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It'll be too short.
Yeah. It won't last long enough. Everyone's gonna want their money back.
Alex Navarro's thinly disguised disdain.
That's really good. Lucy James's sleepy time.
Jason A. Striker's backpack Twizzlers. I love those.
That's very good.
Tamor Hussein's bloodborne yearning. Just sit around think about how great it would be if there was more bloodborne.
That's good. That's all very good. All right. Last email of the show. Once again, bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email. I'm sorry, I just saw Matt Rory's Uplay, and then I'm thinking Matt Rory's wide monitor. Matt Rory's
Rory's
fart.
protocol.
His missing shoes.
That man loves taking
Matt
shoes off.
Rory's unnecessary robe.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Matt Rory's floor meal.
Matt Rory's couch fart.
I love
A
Rory.
lot with Rory.
There is a lot with Rory. Bobcast
Kathy
Giant
Russell's
Bomb.
broken dirt bike. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Matt Rory at bombcast.com. Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. I love and appreciate everyone emailing. Last email of the show comes from Simon in Saskatchewan, and they have a trivia fun fact that I didn't believe was real, and I have not done the research to see if it's a shoot or not.
Okay.
Dear Bombcast, I love trivia and wanted to share a fun trivia fact each week. Trivia fact of the week, first week of March. They have not written the second or third fun fact. So, Simon, I'm waiting. Canola, as in cooking oil, is an abbreviation for Canadian oil low acid. Genetically modified type of rapeseed plant. It's a yellow flower and is beautiful in the summer when there are fields full of them.
What?
Thanks, Simon from Saskatchewan.
What's that? Were we missing a letter on grapeseed plant, or is there actually a plant called
no.
grapeseed?
I literally Googled what is canola, and I saw the answer. It's like, oh, I could see why they did some rebranding.
No, but no one wanted rapeseed oil.
Weird, yeah.
Okay.
Huh, yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite like Korean bancha, like the little side dishes, is like rape flour. So, you know,
Wow.
Yeah, we could really brand some things better.
we
Yeah.
can change names.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that.
Canola's a fun word. I like that word.
Yeah, canola's fine.
Yeah, that's surprising. I
I
didn't know that.
made some salmon and canola oil last night.
Yeah, that's a good high high smoke point oil. So that's good.
Mhm,
Is it low? I forget which one's good now. So Dan,
You
you
don't
would
do
know.
olive. You don't do olive. Olive has
Well, I
a
know
low
you
smoke
don't
point.
do olive. Yeah.
You can do canola. Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you can
fine.
do maybe
Avocado's
light-
fine. Avocado's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking about changing names, folks, if you missed the announcement at the beginning of the show, we are changing the name of Game Mess Mornings to Game Breaking News, as well as unveiling the Power Block this Thursday. That's right. Pretty much almost all day, at least 4 to 6 hours of constant streaming, constant programming from us here, our homies at GameSpot, our friends at Fandom. We're all teaming up, working together, one big Voltron of content to present a bunch of stuff your way. Again, do not fear all the same stuff that you've grown used to, like the Dump Truck, Blight Club, Bombcast, BCR, UPF. That is all sticking around. We're just adding more things, so you keep hanging out with us. Thursday, we will have... Oh,
can we bring back Don't Touch That Dial? Because that's the thing now. You don't have to hop between streams. Just don't touch that dial, right? The kids get that reference?
There's no dial.
There's no dial.
Don't
that's
touch
the
that.
thing.
How do we modernize it? Don't touch that tab. X.
yeah. Okay, don't
No.
touch that. Yeah, no.
No,
don't
click that X.
I want to bring back Don't Touch That Dial. That was a
Don't
good
Tabby
one.
close that
Touchy.
tab.
Don't
close that
Tabby
tab.
Touchy.
Yeah, don't close that tab.
Tabby Touchy.
Don't close that tab. Works. Wow, don't close that tab works. Yeah.
Don't close
okay.
that tab.
Yeah,
Okay,
Backler, that's why you're the big brains here.
What about Tabby Touchy?
Tabby touchy?
No Tabby Touchy.
Maybe go back to the drawing board on that one, Mikey.
You know, we were just saying you could brand things a little better.
yeah.
No Tabby Touchy.
This Thursday,
You like it the more I say it. You know,
I
you
do.
tell me
I
what-
do.
I say it, though.
It went from 0 to 0.1 real fast.
I like it.
We will have brand new graphics and art for Game Breaking News when that makes the switch over on Thursday. Stay subscribed to the same podcast feeds. We're just going to change the name. Do not worry. For Game Breaking News on Thursday, we will also have the debut of the GameSpot show, which is a bunch of pure fun that the homies have cooked up over there. Tam and Lucy are going to continue their playthrough of Split Fiction. And then I believe we're capping the day off with a regular decular episode of Voicemail Dump Truck. And then, yeah, that'll just be how things move forward going on. Everything will be live. Everything will also be archived. So don't trip, chocolate chip. We'll cover you there. Friends, anything else to say about the power block?
It'll be fun.
Sick.
It's been in
Yeah.
the works for a long time. It's gonna be great.
You know, we're what do they say? What's the phrase? We're building the plane while we're trying to fly it also at the same time. So it's going to be interesting to see all that coming together. But yeah, super dope, and hope you enjoy.
A lot of hard work has gone into this all over the board. And folks, that does it for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. We'll see you next week for another episode. Until then, he's been Mike, he's been Dan, he's been Jeff, I've been Jed, and you at home are doing great. Look at those socks you're wearing today. Holy smokes. Okay, Dan, we didn't.
Dan.
Oh, all right.
Oh, the feet, Jesus
Okay.
Christ!
All right. No, we didn't need to see the other one. All right. Well, have a good day.
They're so yellow.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're back on. I'm gonna kill the YouTubes as you pull up time.is. No, that's right. No Tabby Touchy.
No Tabby Touchy.
No.
Ooh, I do have to share this.